get 10% off your first order. Shop today. New adventurers will get some things like a sticker pack with 3 stickers, free downloadable PDF adventure, a free mystery dice set. It's so sick. Hold on to your skull cause it might split. SkullSplitterDice.com. Hurry now, bring some new dice home. SkullSplitterDice.com. Hurry now, bring some new dice home.
Hi there, my name's Sloan, and you're on the Welcome In. If you're new here, or you just need a little bit of a refresher as to what's going on in our campaigns, you can find that information over on our fandom wiki. There you'll find info about our PCs, our NPCs, and write-ups of all of our past episodes. But if reading isn't really your thing, you can also find arcs of our campaigns summarized in neat little 10-minute videos over on our YouTube, where you can also catch all of our past broadcasts. Thanks so much for watching, and welcome in! Ding!
Kyle XY.
Oh my!
They came in
God.
on Kyle XY, dude. They came in on
Welcome
Kyle
in, welcome in.
We're in rare form.
Off to an immaculate start. Perfect launch, my friends. You are here for Ierth Engraved, our Saturday D&D campaign. This is session number 4, which means we're just getting into this. So you are here at the perfect time. We're going to start that in a minute, but before we do, we have some announcements to make. First and foremost, of course, that announcement being our schedule for the week. We have Off the Rails back on Friday, August 12th, 7 p.m. Eastern. Man, it is getting tense in that. Our wonderful GM, Sean, is leading us into, like, a magic nullification chaos, so show up for that. It has been interesting thus far. And then, of course, we'll be back with this show on Saturday, Ierth Engraved, on August 13th, my friends. Now, none of this could happen without our good friends over at Skull Splitter. Hold on.
Oh, wait.
What the fuck, dude?
Skull Splitter Dice!
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
There we are. Skull Splitter Dice, not only do they sponsor our program, but they also sponsor a monthly giveaway, which is open now on the program. Use code !win
now?
in chat.
Now.
I'm sorry, not it is available during the break.
I had a fucking panic attack.
I was like, I don't think that's it.
I meant one thing, but it does not work. We are starting a new month with that giveaway, is what I meant and not what I said.
You're good, Ken.
Which you can get in on during the break when it will be open. And I won't scare any of my friends because I won't throw bullshit into the air. !win will get you entered. Followers get 1 entry, subscribers get 2. If you're going to subscribe, do it beforehand because it's not retroactive. That'll get you entered in our giveaway for a skull mug filled with approximately 100 of Skull Splitter's finest dice. In the meantime, go check out Skull Splitter. The link is in chat. Thank you, mods. Our second sponsor who is joining us is a little new. We've only just started with them. They joined us for the Atomless session on Wednesday, but we are now sponsored with our good friends over at Wooded Meadows Gaming. Wooded Meadows Gaming is locally sourced here in Denver. Got to meet these folks. Are very good folks, very good people. They make handcrafted dice and other accoutrements, really cool candles. They make like these engraved dragon placards. It is sick. I have a wooden dice in my box right here from them. It is beautiful and wonderful, and I love it. Now, they've partnered with us, guys, to do a weekly giveaway for this entire month.
What?
So that means we are running this giveaway today, and we'll be drawing it today because it's the end of the week. It's our last program of the week.
Oh shit, yeah, isn't it?
Yeah. Now,
That's how
Here's the
weeks work.
dealio.
What do you mean by that?
If we get they are sponsoring our critical dice giveaway. If a player or a DM rolls a crit success or a crit failure, we open up the giveaway for 5 minutes. That is your chance to get in there. The commands will go off and tell everybody. You can use X or hashtag WM when it opens to get entered in that giveaway, and we will be drawing it at the end of the week for the next 4 weeks, guys. So this is week 1. The giveaway is going to be awesome. Get in. The products are phenomenal. We really appreciate y'all over at Wooded Meadows Gaming, and check them out. There's a link in chat. Go take a look at their products. They're very, very cool and very, very good. Sean, over to you.
Well, hey there, everybody. Our soap shop is still in a little bit of a hiatus while we wait for that to come back online. But until then, it's a new month and a new charity. Right now, we have St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, which is a fantastic organization that tries to help children of various different types of illnesses get better. I don't believe anyone who goes there has to pay medical bills. Isn't that like the grand thing about it? Is that no child who's treated there pays for their medical bills?
Yeah, it's like No Child Left Behind.
That's insane. That's so cool. But in able to do that, they need support, which we're asking you to do for this month. So if you would like to, please go to the link provided in chat or below our stream and donate however much you see fit. It is a very good cause, and we recommend that you support them. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. Any other announcements before we get into the game proper?
Just be safe.
Oh, okay.
Just
Safety third.
Safety
No,
third?
I feel like I just said it was first, but
What's first and second button?
Kyle XY.
Kyle
Mistake
and
first.
XY.
X and Y. Like an
Okay.
axis of
I don't know what second is.
Second
I
is
Make a
the-
mistake,
the-
panic, and then go safe.
second
Then
is the
safe.
one where you kiss.
No.
Okay.
What?
Second.
What is this kiss you speak
Second is the best. Third is the one with the hairiest chest.
And
Ooh.
is the
That's me.
safest. And is the safest.
It's definitely me.
Button is the hairiest person here.
I'm Ginger, so it's definitely not me.
Even if it were, we couldn't tell.
No, I can't tell.
It's not me. It's not me.
Hey, Josh, take us into the game.
You guys are you sure you don't want to do a little bit more of this? We could talk about
I
Sean's
mean, I
chest
was
hair,
good,
maybe?
but let's go with what everyone else wants to do, I guess.
I guess it's a collective decision here. All in favor of chest hair conversations? Aye?
I
Oh
Wanna
my
play
goodness,
D&D.
Alec! All right, so guys, you ever comb yours?
No, because I don't have
Regret
any.
it.
No,
Oh.
because I don't have any.
I'm trying to get like a perspective on what you guys do with it.
I don't got none.
I
Braid
get
it.
rid of it.
Great.
Hey,
Oh, that'd be
guys.
cool. Huh?
We rejoin our party.
That makes sense.
Democracy means nothing anymore.
The energy in here is fucking incredible.
Who wants to march with me on the Capitol?
Oh no! Sean!
Oh
fuck.
my god.
We return.
Oh, here we go. We
Fires and
rejoin our party nestled away in an old collapsed bunker deep within the Thousand Fronts.
Welcome in,
That
Raiders.
night, our heroes had bravely pursued Gendri into the strange scrap dunes located just south of the river Hylet. Our dwarven friend had been in pursuit of something which had been dragged away by an unknown creature that seemed to exude a blue ichor. Gendry's pursuit was frantic as he plunged into the scrap, moving ahead through the warrens. He noted small webs that seemed to cast a dull glow. Attempting to scale one of the junk piles to get a better vantage, he had set off the skittering denizens of the webs. Tiny mechanical spiders had swarmed along Gendry's arms, attacking him. Honey, Sieg, and Trystan, having followed Gendry into the warrens, had managed to catch up just in time and aided the dwarf in breaking free from the tiny little monsters. A tense conversation followed, the party pressing Gendry on his reason for his charge into the Thousand Fronts. Gendry had been reluctant to share, unsure of his companions, but eventually he told them that he was in pursuit of a case of great import. Reluctantly, the party joined Gendry, who refused to back down from his prey, and they continued into the warren, quickly coming across a cave. The skittering creatures seemed to leave them alone as they stepped into the darkness, greeted by yet another maze of scrap. The ichor webs had become far more dense here, and the party had to weave their way through to avoid drawing the attention of the tiny beasts. With a little clever application of fire magic, the group stealthily crept deeper into the cave, until eventually coming across a large glowing mass of webbing. Gendry quickly noted this couldn't be what he was looking for, but as the group looked around, they saw the source of the ichor. A massive mechanical creature made from a hodgepodge of ancient materials clung to the roof of the cavern. From its mismatched abdomen ran thousands of tethers of the ichor, creating a network of webs. Backing into the cave, a few members of the party circled around, and using thaumaturgy, determined that the spider could be distracted by messing with the webbing. Regrouping, they formulated a plan of attack. The group began to set up, but as they did, Trystan slipped into the webbing, and the monstrous spider machine leapt towards him. The party moved quickly, Honey drawing the ire of the tiny spiders by thrumming on their webs, while the three others faced down the mechanical monster. As the dust settled, the party regrouped, the now slain construct laying motionless in the middle of the room. Without hesitation, Gendry shot towards a second large glowing mass of webbing, and without pause began to cut it down. A strange, pearlescent, scaled creature fell from the confines of the web, asleep and drained, but very much alive. The trapped creature seemed to resemble some sort of elegant dog-sized reptile. The party softened slightly, realizing that Gendry's objective had not been loot, but rather a companion. Regrouping, the party left the cave behind, noting the ichor and spiders had fallen apart once the large machine had expired. There was no way they could traverse the dangerous fronts back to the Hour camp, and so after some discussion, they set to finding a place to rest for the rest of the night. Watches went off relatively quietly, and we now find Gendry seated just outside their small hideout. Beside him sits Mac, his strange reptilian companion, recently roused from her slumber. The two sit gazing out across the River Hylet as the sun begins to crawl over the Bloom Fort mountain. It is early morning. It is the early morning hours of Friday, the 25th of Orlin, 2245 AG. Gendry, the morning is yours.
Is watch over?
Watch is ending. The others are still basically ending off their 8 hours of rest, but your watch has ended. It's sufficient to wake them up. Yeah, you just bounce.
Gone. Fine. Bye. No. I will relax in the morning. Just sort of keep an eye out, even though nothing's probably going to happen. And wait for the first of them to awaken. I'm not on anyone's schedule.
Okay. As you kind of chill, keeping an eye out over the fronts, the sun begins to rise proper. It's a little later in the morning as folks kind of begin to wake up, as you were out very late into the night last night, having traipsed across the Thousand Fronts, delved into this cave before finally finding a place to rest. But the rest of you do begin to rouse from your slumber, all of you having achieved a long rest. And wake to find Gendry kind of sitting at the mouth next to this large reptilian companion of his.
Good morning.
Morning, everybody.
I'm up.
All right.
How'd we sleep?
Good. Sleep fine?
Good. Sorry. Literally just getting up. And Tristan's already standing. Went from dead flat to standing. He's already getting like his stuff ready to go.
Gendry, you would watch as Mac, as you turn to face the others, the head kind of turns, not the entire body, and peers into the cave and notes the three of these. And there's kind of a tension that you feel against your form, a stiffening of muscle, a tautness. And she kind of raises to her 4 feet warily, or 4 legs, and kind of coils almost around you, not necessarily protectively. There's almost a placing you between her and them.
Yeah. How'd you go? Right. Everyone, this is Mac. Mac, these are everyone. Trystan, right?
Yeah, wow. Yeah,
Good.
that's, yeah.
And then Sigil and his daughter.
Nope.
I did tell you yesterday that that is not my papa, but that okay. I did also introduce myself, but that okay.
I was very tired.
Okie dokie.
Names?
I'm Siegfried.
Siegfried.
Honey.
Honey. Right. Well.
You watch as the eyes of this creature seem to very intelligently follow as Gendry introduces each one of you. There's a pause and a narrowing and almost scrutinizing of her eyes at each figure as she seems to weigh and surmise each one of you.
Am I not supposed to move? Is this like...
I think the lizard dog no like us. I tap Siegfried and cast Blessing of the Forge on him.
Thank you.
Just in case she wants to bite.
Okay. Does she bite?
Yes, but you should be fine.
Okay. He sort of steps in front of Honey and Trystan, just in case she bites, it will be me first.
Oh no, it's fine. It's clearly is a animal of some sort and has to learn to like people around. So,
Well, it was just kidnapped and dragged across the continent, so
Fair enough.
yes,
yeah, I'm not too
It might be a
terrified
little
of it. Well,
untamed.
I am,
currently.
but
So, so how do we want to move forward? We obviously have to get out of here. I know that there are some conversations we have to have. I imagine Gendry, as you mentioned to Honey last night, you're not really looking to drag Mac through town.
Oh, right. And I'll go retrieve the lantern stone.
Mm-hmm.
Just sort of look it over and hold it out to him. Say, "What do you think?"
You see as... Oh, sorry. Who are you presenting that to?
Mac. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, she does kind of step forward cautiously, almost kind of coming around. One eye still scrutinizing your three companions wearily. Very similar to kind of Gendry's almost reticence, a little nervousness there. But she eventually kind of bobs her head and turns and snuffles at the lantern. And you can see that the light radiating from this thing is becoming more and more intense by the second, returning to that sort of flush glow that you've become familiar with, Gendry. She kind of takes a step back a little bit, and make an animal handling check. No, make an insight check for me, actually, with advantage. Because this is a peer of yours, a companion you've known.
My companion.
You may use wisdom if you'd like to.
For
insight? Is
sorry,
insight
the animal
wisdom?
handling or
it's wisdom.
insight is wisdom?
Insight is wisdom.
Yeah, insight.
An 8.
An 8. Okay. She takes a step back, and for a moment you're worried that she's afraid of the rock. Like she doesn't want to engage with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see her kind of ears perk up, or ears, these sort of long, elongated points along the side of her head, perk, almost flick up like a dog's might, and one turns to the side and back again, and her long neck swivels again, her torso remaining stationary as she begins to kind of look around, and you start to realize that she's curious and has been confined for quite a while, and you watch as she kind of paws at the ground a little bit, and there's this element of fidgetiness that comes over to you as she maybe doesn't want to be... The rock, you know, isn't something she despises or loathes or is uncomfortable to her, but she wants to be out in the world right now.
Cool.
Sorry.
Well, right then. She's made up her mind. I'll tie the lantern onto my belt just to keep it at hand in case things happen and I need it.
Does she know like what that is? Because you've held that out a couple of times, but I personally I don't know.
It's hers, so she should be fine with it. But
Oh gosh.
I don't think she's seen the outside of a forest or a cage in 2 months, so
Nice.
might be a little bit excited to explore. Not necessarily sure that a minefield is the best place for that, so I'll probably try
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
and keep her contained through there, but...
Okay.
Her head is kind of still looking away from you all as you're speaking, one ear tilted back towards you and one forward, and you see as like one paw kind of lifts, and she takes a few steps forward to get a better visage looking down the hill towards the river out of curiosity.
All right, well, everything outside this cave is probably going to kill her.
You can make an animal handling check if you would like her to go into it.
No, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
So, who wants to take the lead? Am I doing it?
If you'd like to, I can
Sure.
as well, but I'll take the rear. When we get to town, what's the plan? I just want to touch bases, make sure we're all on the same page.
Hop on the train, right, and go back to.
Mr. Gendry was saying he didn't want people to see Mac, though. That is the problem.
Right.
Maybe
We'll figure that out on the other side of this.
Yeah.
First problems first.
Let her stretch her legs out, get on the train, and head back to Chateau de Coligny. That's the plan.
Sounds
And
good.
you would all know that the timeline that you overheard the conductor speaking of would be they would be leaving this evening.
Okay,
Mhm.
so we have the time. Okay, well, then, yeah, unless anybody has any other questions, I say let's move.
All right.
Do you sorry, do you know what Mac is? I've just never seen anything like Mac. I just was wondering.
Not really. No.
There's a name for beautiful, but didn't know if there was a name for what they are.
Not that I'm aware.
Gosh. Trystan pulls out a notebook and is just kind of writing notes. He's looking at Mac.
I noticed that.
Oh, dude,
Right.
he's not hiding it. He's not hiding it.
I venture towards town.
Okay. So, as you're kind of looking out, it's daylight now, and visibility is a little better. You are greeted by that hazy, foggy atmosphere of the Thousand Fronts. To your north, off to the right, there is the winding, residue-filled River Halais. The towering fortresses that were the bastions of the north and south of Rougemont and Vergercastel still sitting up on the cliff tops running along here, and warrens of remnant trench systems, a very densely packed crater system. Directly in front of you, heading westwards, you see the telltale signs of the minefield. The one sign that you passed on the way out of the minefield last night facing you, and in Castilian says minefield, slightly tilted to one side and worn and blasted by debris, detritus, and just general weather. Up the hill from you, it seems to meander through rough, rolling dunes and amalgamations of scrap back towards the cavern where you came from. And then, of course, to the east of you, this trench system continues for miles and miles, though in the far distance you can see the foothills and towering mountains of the Bloom Fort, where there's this kind of bowl created. So for reference, you are somewhere around here.
Meeting again, I'm sorry.
Yeah, of course. Am I on the right lane?
Yeah, I see it.
It's right here.
Thank you.
You could try picking your way up the hill and over. It's a direction you haven't come. You came from down by the shore. Or you could follow back through the minefield.
There's a way to go around the minefield, possibly?
Possibly, yes. As you're looking here, the natural barriers are the river to the north, the rough terrain to the east, the minefield to the west. But the cavern, if you skirt past it and go up the little cliff that it was nestled in, you're not sure what is up in that direction.
All right. What do we think, groups? Skirting around or go through?
I
Skirting
have no experience.
around might not be a bad idea, especially if Mag wants to stretch her legs.
Okay, we go around.
Okay. Make a survival check for me, whoever is taking the lead. And what's our marching order?
I'll take the butt.
I guess I'm in front.
Gendry
I'll
in
go
front.
behind Gendry.
I'll be behind Trystan.
All right, we got Gendry, Trystan, Honey, Sig. What's that survival check, my friend?
13.
13. You begin to pick your way up the hill, and as you do, Mac kind of falls in next to you in that familiar pattern that the two of you have established in your time to the east. padding along, her head constantly on a swivel as she moves alongside with you. And I'm actually going to have her... Would you like to roll for her perception check as well?
Sure. The fuck are her stats again?
Incredible question.
Yeah. Natural 20. Hey, open the giveaway!
Oh!
Open it up!
Picking it off! That's my guy. Well done. Guys, now is your chance to get in on our critical giveaway, sponsored by Wooded Meadows Gaming. We're going to be drawing that at the end of the day for one of their fine, wonderful, amazing, handcrafted wooden or candle products. This is the wooden dice I got from them. So get in on that. Hashtag WM is going to get you entered. We'll be drawing that at the end of the day. And thank you to our friends at Wooded Meadows. Go check out their products on their product page. We highly recommend you take a look. Very cool, small store.
Yeah.
We'd love you guys to show them some love.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
but a natural 20 on Mac. I'm going to let you kind of describe how she would approach these sorts of things. And
What am I
character.
rolling? Is this
So she
survival?
is. This is a survival check to
Okay.
move upwards and find a good, safe path up through the terrain to get a good vantage point and figure out where the AR camp is from where you're sitting.
So that's a 22. So you said we're going up on like a hill to go around?
You're heading up a slope away. Kind of, this is a river valley that leads down to the river. You're kind of heading up a ridgeline that you're fairly certain will give you a vista that will get you a little better vantage of what you're looking for.
Gotcha. Then I think probably excitement would be the thing that just jolts them out of that formation we're walking in and just sort of up the hill to get their own better view. And from there, we'd probably be able to find a better path, but mostly it's probably not survival more than excitement to see.
So the two of you kind of have that contagious, cyclical excitement as you...
Oh, I don't.
Oh, but Mac,
They do.
Mac, got it.
I'm
Mac-
chasing their excitement and stumble upon probably a better
Vista.
path.
I love that. You watch Gendry as Mac's sitting next to you or walking along next to you. For a little bit, they fall in next to you, and you can feel them become more and more excited, and they begin to kind of pull away and then slow their pace to match you and pull away as you pick your way up through these massive boulders that sit along this kind of, it's not quite a cliff face, but this steep hill that is strewn with craters and boulder marks. They haven't quite built the trenches into this. It was quite difficult terrain to navigate. That kind of leads up underneath this massive ridgeline, on top of which Rougemont's massive fortress sits further to the east. But Mac eventually just kind of gets ahead of you, and there's a moment of worry as she disappears around a massive boulder, and you kind of scurry to catch up behind her. And as you do, you step out from around this boulder, and before you, you are greeted with this vantage vista that sits out on the end, almost right where the ridgeline comes to a taper in height, right at the top. The boulder just off here as you come up, and you can see the Bay of Presh coated in that eerie fog. You can see all along the coast as the sun seems to sort of part the mist and haze in this region for a brief moment. And you can see out further down the slope, kind of cutting along at an angle. You can see where the camp was that you visited last night, the demolished camp from the remittance individuals. And you can see the AR camp, the wooded palisade sitting there with the rails running into it. It's not too far a walk, maybe about an hour, and you are seeing some fairly good spots that you are pretty certain weren't fortified with any sort of defenses like minefields and the such. You'd mostly be worrying about the elements, chemicals, and anything living in that space, but that would be far better than worrying about those things and minefields and trench systems and collapsed bunkers.
Gotcha. I will point it out and lead from behind my dog.
All right. Mac kind of guts into business mode with that 22 natural 20, Sean.
Nice.
And you can see the telltale signs of her stopping, and you know to react to that. There is very much a learned sense with this creature, a wild animal that knows to pause. You see her tilt her head up, all three of you, and sniff at the air, and the ears point and tilt and shift in different directions, her head cocking to the side. And then she'll begin to move forward without pause, just expecting you guys to follow, which Gendry clearly does. She assumes you operate similarly as she proceeds forward, weaving in and out of these spaces. At certain points, the three of you watch as she hooks away from the path up what seems to be more difficult terrain. Gendry, you would know to trust her, as she weaves around what turn out to be massive rivulets or cuts, where there are actually these sheer, very well hidden small canyons, 20 feet deep, where water has just eroded away portions of this hillside. And she works her way around them. You never see them until you're like at the top of them, and all of a sudden you realize that this is not super great terrain. But after about an hour and a half total walking, you find yourselves nearing the outskirts of the AR camp. They are yet able to see you as she kind of pauses again and stops up next to you, Gendry.
Hell yeah. Okay. Before we actually go into town, or this camp, I would probably take a knee and just say, all right, girl, listen. We've had some time to walk. It's been nice. If we want that to never happen again, these people can't see you. Alright?
She kind of bobs her head and pushes the kind of flat of it against your hand for a moment, and then turns towards the stone.
Alright, I'll let you out as soon as we're gone. Well, thinks of the train. A little bit after that. And then holds out the lantern for them.
And what does it look like, Sean?
They essentially just hold out this slowly, like, pulsating, dim stone lantern. And as Mac approaches, they sort of echo the same sort of glow and pulsing. And then they just start to become that light as they fade into the small opening of that lantern and disappear within.
No, I'm kidding.
It's a master ball. I splurged.
Her battery's low.
You guys watch as you
What's a
see that
battery?
sight unfold before you. Mac disappearing into this stone lantern.
Tie it on my waist like a lantern.
Tristan writes some notes.
Fuck it, I'm gonna burn that book.
I imagine she is okay.
Aye, that's where I found her, so I suppose it's kind of like home. Should be fine while we're walking around town. No risk of beasts popping out of my pocket.
And Gendry, you would know exactly that. She isn't usually hesitant to go into it. She just wanted some outside
Totally
time.
fine. I completely understand her. Good animal.
Well, maybe we see if she can get a little bit more freedom on the train, depending on what the company there looks like.
Oh.
Maybe. Aye. Right, so anything we need done while we're here?
But I know that I rolled a natural 20 on the insight, but would Honey know with like any sort of certainty that the would they have the same certitude that the foreman there wasn't interested or looking for weaponry or anything?
All the evidence shown and the natural 20 makes you quite certain that the foreman at this AR camp is not guilty. A natty 20, you are getting a definitive answer from that.
Okay. I didn't want to assume that like that transferred, but
I
felt
never
like
said
would.
it. I'm sorry. You know me and my vagueness. For sure. Honey is very confident, and Button may be confident as well that you got an accurate answer from that. There wasn't any fuckery seeming to go on from the DM side.
No, I was more concerned about the
I
dude
know.
being readable.
Yeah, he was a very simple individual. There wasn't a lot going on with him, and he had that sort of bash demeanor that you've come to know, having met two Norkai dwarves recently, of There's not a lot of faffing about. There's just they tend to say it as it is, for better or for worse.
I love that. So the foreman at this AR camp was not interested or looking in that area for weaponry. I don't think he knew that it was there. And we know that there is communication open between the Eladrin and whoever is back at Chateau de Coyonne. So he clearly has not been contacted saying that something was wrong. I think we can assume he's innocent.
That makes sense.
That means that...
Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay. That means that whoever is responsible is probably back at Chateau de Coyonne. I'm thinking maybe the foreman there, or the engineer.
I doubt it's the engineer as much as they are grading. I doubt it's them. You build something so beautiful like this and then you fuck it up. It makes no sense.
The goal may not be to fuck up the train, though. The goal may just be to arm the Eladrin so they can attack somewhere else. It's hard to say.
There's also the gun manufacturer across from Zephyr's. Could see if they maybe have some stolen wares. Because if I remember correctly, Josh, the maker's mark was etched off, correct?
It was etched off, but you cast Mending.
Yes,
Tristan
did.
The Jean Marc or Tristan did.
Yeah.
You also have the name of the
Jean
foreman.
Marc Munitions, and then
you have the name of the foreman, Gilbert Griggs.
Gilbert Griggs. The one here was Pouts.
Manifest. Yeah.
Yes.
Got it.
You guys are killing it. Look at this.
Yes.
Okay, so I say then we hop back on. I think Honey's dead on. I think that we're pretty good with Pouts. Let's check out Griggs and see if we can get anything from Jean-Marc Munitions with missing armaments or anything like that. And do we need supplies while we're here in town?
I think they're bringing supplies here. That is why the train...
Fair.
I don't think we should take their supplies.
How much money do I have?
Just a question.
Not a lot.
I got you.
Sorry.
I got you if you need some.
Well,
I wouldn't say that out loud. I'm embarrassed. I'm poor.
well then,
No,
let's just head back to the train then.
I had an idea also, and I
Sure.
assume this is like on the walk. Tristan's like, I'm gonna check the books when we get back on to see if they took anything off, because as much as like Pouts may not be showing it, he might somehow have somebody who was working in this side who's also fudged the numbers. So I'll check the books and cross them against mine.
Okay. As you begin to towards the camp, the last... It's 5 minutes down the hill now. Less worried. This area has been cleared very intentionally by the engineers of the camp. Honey, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh! Is it poison again?
This happening to me, what I do. 13.
13. As you are walking, you feel the heat of the sun on the back of your neck.
I get exhaustion again.
And as
Gotta have
you
it.
kind of
Every
put
episode.
your hand up just to rub gently, you realize that it is not the heat of the sun. There is an intense warmth radiating just along the back of your neck.
Sunburn.
And as you
Cool.
touch along those spots,
Mm-hmm.
there's almost a gentle thrum. It's barely noticeable, and then after 5 seconds, the heat dissipates and the thrumming dissipates.
Cool. And they know from what is it autumn, Josh? I forget what
It
season we're
is
in.
like mid heading into late fall.
So they have a notion that this might be a thing for months. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Cool. Sick. Okay. Just keep walking.
Okay, perfect. You continue on down towards the IR camp. There are, as you approach, a few posted scouts, individuals watching the space. As you recall, the requirements of the Accord mean that these figures aren't really able to keep very good defenses for themselves in this very hostile area. And so you see what appear to be essentially engineers and workmen standing at the gate. And they pause for a moment. And you see, before you even reach, there is a conversation and exchange. But there is no pausing you as you approach. Welcome back. It is good to see that you made it from the front. Please. And they kind of step aside and let you into the camp. You can see, as you walk into the camp, it's not a massive space, mostly low-lying tents and a few small storage buildings. They are in the midst of turning the train around. You can see there is a massive crew of workmen who are laying out these platforms of metals very similar to the rails, but they're not being permanently laid. They're being placed, and the ether engine is currently being rotated as it is shifted slowly from platform to platform in a circle to turn the engine around and bring it up alongside the cars and affix it to the front. It looks like a lengthy process. They're about halfway through. They've kind of pivoted it on its axis and are beginning to push it back down on this left side of the cars towards the end of the engine. And you're beginning to understand the period of offloading requires also a bit of a almost turntable maneuver out here in the middle of nowhere with very little supplies in order to allow the train's return. You can see that the conductor is standing there very nervously overseeing everything. There is a "don't touch my baby"-esque sort of ownership of this piece of equipment as they begin to work on it. But nobody seems to interrupt you or stop you from approaching.
Excuse me, is there a way to enter the car? Removing the engine or no?
Oh, your return. This is good. I was worried after all of that. You spent the night out there.
Yeah.
Hey.
It is quite impressive. You never cease to amaze, youth war. Huh?
Thanks.
To answer your question, yes, you may get on the cars. We are just moving the engine itself. They should not be a problem. They are not even powered right now without the engine coupled.
Great. Thank you. And he will...
Welcome back.
Help
We'll be leaving this evening.
Thank you so much. Sig will help everybody get on the car, and he will hop in last.
Okay. You guys make your way into the carriage car.
Yeah.
Which now will be essentially at the end of the train. As you kind of scrabble in. You find that it has not really been touched. Somebody has done a little bit of cleaning. The papers have been shuffled a little bit at the table, but nothing seems untowards or out of order.
Quick cue for our journey. Would Sig have noticed the sort of pensive grabbing of the back of the neck on the journey?
Honey, would you have been stealthy in this action?
They would try.
So make a stealth check, and it's against your passive perception, Sig.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's ass.
And it's a very minor movement, so I will say that it's at advantage, honey.
Oh, I rolled a disadvantage because I wear armor, so I'll just roll straight, I guess.
A straight roll, please. Yeah, sorry. I threw that at you at the last second. That's on me.
No. 11.
My passive is 11.
Okay, so that would be the passive would meets it, beats it. You would have just noticed a pause and a rubbing of the neck. Nothing necessarily particularly suspicious about that, but...
No, like a sunburn.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody want to play cards? We got some time to kill.
Sure. I was going to write in my journal, but that sounds fun.
Okay. Honey?
I'll watch you guys play cards, but as they say that, they're pulling out the Rouge or the Red.
Be careful, this one likes to bet, I think. Bad influence. Gendri, you in for a game?
Sure.
Cool.
Might be fun.
He'll kind of almost excitedly pull 4 chairs together at this circular table, take out his old deck of cards, and start dealing out hands.
All right.
Are we betting or are we just playing straight?
Oh, do we want to bet? I don't have much to. Okay.
No.
Absolutely. All right.
I think Gendry said something very wise. I don't think we're betting.
No, I got you. I was just making sure I wasn't out of the loop. I didn't want to.
No money.
Okay.
All right. So, is there a specific game you're looking to play?
What is something that he would be comfortable with? What was the name of the game he taught Honey how to play?
Usually Jimbles.
It was poker, wasn't it?
Yeah, so then just game of poker.
My ass, which can't play cards for shit, was like, I don't remember. I blocked it out.
The reason I laughed was because I was
think
expecting
it was poker. I mean, sure. They play Go Fish, Josh.
The way that this works, my friends, is you can essentially tell me how you're going to handle this. You can if you're going to be iffy and sketchy, you can make like if you're going to hide cards, sleight of hand. If you're going to try and figure out if your opponent is bluffing, insight checks, those sorts of things, and we'll just go around the table a couple times really quick as you sit on this train and begin to play cards. We'll start since Gendry or Sig is shuffling and. What's the thing that they call people who do the
dealers?
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I'm
that would mean me and Adam have to ante.
Here's the thing, though, and this is why I laugh so hard.
Sean, hey guys, go play poker.
Don't play poker. Don't do that.
No, wait, really quick though. The reason I laugh so hard is because it was like, what game did I help teach? And I'm thinking some crazy D&D game. You went poker. It was poker.
Yeah,
it was straight up
Dragon's Ante or whatever.
Dragon's Ante, yeah, 3-card ante or whatever.
3-card Stanley.
So you guys ante because obviously
we don't have to RP it either if people don't want to. It's just
I'm down.
I've never played this game before, but I'm trying to pretend that that's not true. I don't want anyone to know I've never played this game.
Make a deception check
because I'm from a different country.
I mean, I'm from a different country. But
I got a 2.
Okay. As Gendry, so we're not rolling for cards here. We're rolling for your various actions. So Gendry, sorry, go ahead.
6 is considered bad.
I think Sig is just sort of
no.
That's my bluff. I look real shifty, but on purpose.
I love this.
The weight of Sig realizing this is a mistake is really kind of hitting hard. Yeah.
I think Trystan this entire time is trying to figure out, is there a mechanical way to game the system just to know if he's being gamed? Not to use it, but to know if somebody else is using it to actively beat him.
You're trying to count our cards.
I'm trying to count your cards.
Make
so
an investigation check at disadvantage. Oh, and Button, what do you got there?
Just to fuck with Trystan, I'm sorry. They're reading the Rouge and the Red, and they accidentally use a card as a bookmarker, so it looks like they're cheating.
Okay, that's where your disadvantage comes from.
Bet. Absolutely. It's investigation, right?
Yeah. And I will say, if that's accidental, the passive perception of Gendry and Sig would pick up that Trystan has somehow dropped a card, and you're not sure where it went.
Even with disadvantage, it's 14.
14. Okay. You have an idea of what should probably be in their hands based on things, but as you look down at your own hand, you're missing a card.
Oh shit. No. I think Trystan the entire time is just like he's like looking around and does all the math and goes, okay. Looks down and is just like and just keeps on like looking at the ground. Sorry, I think I got something in my shoe. Sorry guys, it's nope, nothing in my shoe. Sorry. The spider's on my brain, you know.
There's spiders in your brain? There's this ace that they're using as a book.
Justin, that's your card. And guys, it's facing outwards so Sig and Gendry can both see the ace of spades.
I think it's a bookmark.
Hey, honey, can I borrow that again real quick? Just
yeah, can you just give me another one?
In a minute.
Thank you, okay.
Give me like 1 minute.
Okay.
So we playing or?
I've just been waiting here, yeah.
I slam my hand down on the table. It's a 2, a 7, and a king. And
guys, that was really fun. Thank you so much. He hands Honey his whole hand. You have 5 bookmarks
I feel like I won. I definitely feel like I won. I got the ace and a king.
Gendry,
But I have more cards.
no,
How
you
did I
don't
have
know
more
how the
cards?
fucking game works. Holy shit. What happened?
I thought we were playing something else.
Trystan won.
Genuinely,
Gendry was
I
playing
thought.
Rummy Cub.
Genuinely, I thought I was trying to make sure people weren't cheating, but in doing so, I did lose a card at a certain point, and it seems as if Honey here did find that. So,
Oh. Why was it on the ground? Oh, I see.
because it fell out of my hand, I was paying
Yeah.
attention to everybody else's hand.
You
too
know what?
much.
All of you, keep those cards. They're yours. Maybe you can
No.
practice in your private moments.
Don't
I
you
know how
need?
to.
Don't you need these?
I
You
hold
have
the 3
5
cards
cards?
and I put them in my pocket.
I fully have
Each of
played
you
this
can
before.
add 5 playing cards to your inventory.
Amazing.
Split up a deck.
Alright.
Yeah.
Doing it.
Sig, you have the remainder.
I'm calling it now. This is the way we figure out if somebody's tried to pose as one of us.
A doppelganger doesn't
Do
have the
you have
cards on
5
it.
playing cards on you?
I'm calling it now.
Show me your pockets right now.
Immaculate.
I mean,
I see
I
what
need
I'm
that deck of cards is super old. I need a new one anyway.
I'll pick you up one.
I can buy my own deck of cards. Thank you, though.
Okay. Well, it was just gonna be like a nice gift because I fucked up the game, but all right.
Everybody fucked up the game. It wasn't a solo effort.
Hey,
Gendry, what?
I was playing.
Yeah, you were attempting to play. Yeah, it was very good. I'm proud. Great job.
Right, changing the conversation for
Yeah.
no reason. What happens after we get back to town? You all seem quite interested in this little mystery you found, but what do you intend to do with it?
Well,
It's hard to say.
yeah.
My suggestion is say that the right people have it handled and move on with your business.
But who are the right people? Do we contact the Chermondelay?
Sure.
Josh, do we know how a person would go about doing that?
So each town has a constabulary, and there is obviously the mayor themselves as well. You would also know that the 2nd Artillery Division is based out of Chermondelay, and there is a military presence there as well as the town guard itself.
So I thought the Chermondelay and the Chermondet were 2 separate things. I thought that the Chermondelay Accord came out of
So you're asking, so when you say, so there is the Citadel, Chermondelay Citadel is the capital of Rougemont.
Gotcha.
Basically the way that the nation of Rougemont is governed is that there is a council that comprises of the Grand Bishop of of the Church of St. Collier, the Grand Abbot of the Temple Host, and then a few other political figures that are based out of Chermondelay Citadel, which is the acting capital. There are a lot of direct ties to the churches and temples of the world in Rougemont, and how the nation is run is tied to that. It's been that way since before Rougemont existed. And you know what? You've been reading, so we're going to touch upon that really quick and then hop back to this conversation. The book you've been reading is not a particularly dense or lengthy one. You have been reading The Rogue or the Red. The author of this is Professor Anson Harvey, who's a visiting scholar at the Dravenian Institute for Higher Learning. It does annotate that the text was originally written in Castilian, but this is clearly translated to the common tongue. And it actually has a translation date, the original text being written on the 13th of Ierth, 2201 AG, and translated to the common tongue on the 27th of Mirth, 2215 AG, which was during the war.
Okay.
The text itself reads, and I will send you this afterwards, but the establishment of the common tongue across northern Itdar is a fascinating story that is the source of thousands of anecdotes, but none quite so amusing as the confusion around the name of Rougemont. The history of Rougemont is fabled and long, but the nation itself is relatively new. Established out of a series of city-states centered on Chermondelay Citadel, one might expect the nation to have been named Chermondelay. After all, Chermondelay Citadel is the capital of the nation, and its people speak Chermondet. But the leaders of Shermandele Citadel have always been humble and insisted their national identity be based upon something distinct to all of its nation's people. To the south of Rougemont sits the towering peak of the Needle Spire. This immense mountain is formed from a distinctly red rock that gives the mountain a reddish hue. Rougemont, of course, directly translates from Shermondet to the common tongue to Red Mountain. While said mountain isn't within Rougemont's borders, instead located on land held by one of the Karlazovsk baronies, it has been a part of the region's history since long before the Crusades of St. Collier. Indeed, denizens of the region often referred to the general area as Rougemont long before the nation was established. The story, however, does not end there. As Thaltian trade moved east, so too did the common tongue. It became the norm for individuals speaking Thaltian to pronounce the nation's name Roguemont rather than Rougemont, and without locals to correct them, the mistake spread. Indeed, surveyors from the Tarzington Royal Academy of Wizardry went as far as to pen Roguemont on several widely distributed maps, and the name is still often mispronounced across large swaths of the world. It goes on to basically talk about this anecdote in great detail and make historical reference to the penning of the name of the nation, the establishment of the nation, and a number of texts and reference materials in Thalatal and distributed across the world that misname this entire country.
I love that. I imagine they're also catching weird, like, translation errors as they go. They're like, I wonder what they meant by that. They mean, when they, like, in the marginalia, they pull out a card and they write, like, X or Y, page 278, just stick it in there. Okay.
So you would have this context as you go into Gendry's conversation. I apologize, I just thought it might help.
No, I appreciate it. It's very cool and interesting. So I think that given that weaponry was being distributed among the Thousand Fronts, the right people to contact are the Tremondele Citadel, right? This is their purview. You know, if we just tell a local constabulary of a small town that does not really begin to be able to deal with potential global war.
Now, you would know that the representatives that run the town would report, theoretically, obviously, to the Citadel. And
right, the problem is the theoretically.
Sure.
Yeah, if they're involved.
Yeah.
So, we risk telling these people in town, not knowing where their allegiances lie, or we go there ourselves.
I don't see how this is our responsibility.
We know about it, and it could result in global war if we do nothing. That is
Tried to
why
stop
it is our
war before, it didn't go so well. They want it, have it.
I fundamentally disagree with that.
That's fine. You're allowed to do so.
You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, but I am going to try and stop global war from happening.
As am I. We saw something terrible. People acting in their most selfish interest. Not even realizing that they could start the war. So I empathize with you. But when we do nothing, we might as well have started it ourselves.
That's not true.
It is true.
There's only one reason a conflict like that goes on for 100 years. It's because people want it to continue.
Oh. I would at least like to think that I did my best to try and stop it, if it comes to pass.
That's honorable.
No, it's not.
Then why do it?
Who else will?
Literally anyone you tell.
You won't.
Well, Exception what proves the rule.
No. Together we followed you into a minefield. You didn't ask. You begrudged us for it. Without us, you wouldn't have gotten Mac back.
Oh.
You were stumbling in there like a drunken fool.
Right.
All I'm trying to say is, we worked well together. I don't want to see a war, and I don't think you do either, again. But I don't know what you think. I don't know you. I would like to. Just like I would like to know Trystan and Honey.
I gotta be honest here. What can the four of us do? Genuinely, like I don't.
What I suggested was informing the Tremondale Citadel. They are the ones with the power here. That is what we can do.
I mean, I'm fine with like telling them, but I don't know where we go after that, because that's not going to be hard to tell them. I mean, right?
How far away is the Citadel?
Like
Nearly 2 months.
Travel?
Mm-hmm. It's basically on the far side of Rougemont from Yule.
Yeah.
That is 2 months away.
Well, couldn't we just tell the military forces that are already there?
We don't know if
you know what I mean?
We don't know if they're connected, Trystan. We are the only 4 people that we know of who don't have our hands in this. That's a responsibility. Whether we like it... Go ahead.
We can do it just fine. They don't have to do it if they don't want to, Siegfried.
I don't want to get my words. It's not that I don't want to. I just don't. Hell, I left home to go to school, and I ended up out here trying to be an engineer. Listen, this is a lot, if I'm being honest, and that's putting it pretty simply. I'm worried that we're jumping in, or that we want to jump into something that we're not ready to handle. We met, 3 days ago now?
I'm not asking you to do this.
I'm just saying, do we really think that we can stop a second war by just telling them people are putting guns on trains? If a second war is coming, then they're going to do more than put guns on trains. You know what I mean?
That's why you inform the people with power. When you have none.
It's fair.
I don't fucking want to do it. Doesn't sound fun. Doesn't sound like what I want to do with my life. But it's the right thing to do.
Not wrong. But how are we gonna get there? I don't know if you have friends with transportation, but I currently don't.
We'll figure it out. But you guys,
Right.
We all have a train ride to think about how we want to move forward. Honey's right, we don't make decisions for one another. It just... Like they said, it's the right thing to do. And I plan to help them do it.
Okay. Everyone falls into their silent perspective. Anything else? We're going to do a little time hopping here. You guys have an hour or two before the train. The sun is kind of beginning to slowly settle downwards now, having played cards, eaten some food, had this conversation, done some reading. Anything else folks want to do, or is it just kind of quiet contemplation?
Go for it, John.
I'm good.
Oh, I
was
thought you
gonna
had
say I'm good.
Got it. I think Sig will just find a spot and take his notebook out and begin to write.
Okay.
I think Trystan, before going in like the back rooms where the beds are, would take out the second journal that he carries on him and put it in wherever Honey is like at. Just put it next to them, and walk into the back rooms and just very much just lay in a bed just to think and be away from people.
Okay.
I think Honey seeing the book there, or seeing him put it there, either way, would pick it up and read.
Okay. You guys kind of progress the afternoon, and eventually, those of you who are not asleep or kind of watching the world around you begin to see the hustle and bustle as the train engine is connected to the cars. Eventually, the conductor comes down and checks on you all, letting you know that you'll be heading out shortly and to finalize any business you might have. And if there is no objection, about 30 minutes later, you feel the pressure change, the thrum within your chest, as this machine lifts and begins to move once again, gliding out down the rails to the southwest. The sun is still lowering, casting a weird, almost silver gleam off of the chemicals mixed across the Bay of Presh to the north of you as you look out of the train car windows as you proceed on along the train. Eventually setting. You guys, we're going to do another time hop here with a little bit of travel, but how do you want to handle watches and the such?
Sig will take first.
Yeah, same as the last trip.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Sig, you kick off your watch. What I'm going to have is I'm going to have everybody make some rolls here, just in general, for their watches. Everyone make a perception roll. We're going to do every single watch independently, necessarily.
11.
15.
17.
17. 10.
Who's going after me?
Believe it's Trystan after you, and then Honey.
No, I wake Trystan up.
It was.
okay.
I think it was Sig, Gendri, Trystan, Honey.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
So, as your watches continue, there isn't any major interruptions. There are a few instances where you pass through some very thick fog banks, and the conductor comes down. This would be during your watch, Honey, to check on you, to see if you have put up any bandanas and warn that this is a chemical cloud. You may need to be a little cautious. You should be fine inside, but if you go out the exit, you could consume some fumes that could be damaging to you. But other than that, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. They would just thank the engineer, and I know they already gave Siegfried and Trystan bandanas, but I think that they would set one down near wherever Gendry is.
Okay. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Gendry, you have a bandana.
Oh.
Other than that, the watches seem to go off without a hitch. Are you all resting when not completing watches, or are folks staying on?
No.
Okay.
Sleeping.
Siegfried.
Drunk?
Uh-huh.
Tree's drunk. Siegfried, as you begin to fall into a slumber, that darkness takes you. Your eyes close and you drift into a deep sleep. And you find yourself, you're quite certain you are dreaming. But it is a very, very vivid dream. You're not sure when it starts. It's not entirely clear, but cognition hits you. And you can smell leather. You can hear the creak of leather, the clang of armor shifting. You can feel the press of bodies around you, a formation, your peers, shoulder to shoulder. You glance around They wear this shining golden armor, unlike any you've seen on the battlefield before. And as you glance down, you wear that same armor. Emblazoned on the shoulder, the left shoulder of the figure to your right, you see the gleaming sun that is part of the sigil of the nation of Rougemont. There is something old about the armaments you see on the figures standing all around you, and you find yourself in military formation. The sun above you is high and hot. All of you are baking in this armor. You can feel sweat running down your back. And there is that silence that you are familiar with. The quiet before the storm. The surge of conflict is yet to hit, but it is just on the precipice before you. And as you stand there waiting, anxiety, your heart beating, you can feel the shift of your peers around you. And you hear it before you see it. A screeching, growing louder, a high-pitched scream, tearing through the air. Yourself and your peers look upwards. You hear shouts from commanders off beyond your line of sight, beyond the press of the men around you. Hold your ground. Stand fast! And then there is a shudder. A jet black streak of cloud rips through the air above you, arcing like some sort of tossed projectile, and it lands just off to your right. You hear the sound of bodies shattering, thrown into the air, and that screaming, almost shuddering outwards. You can feel a ripple, all of this happening in the matter of seconds, tear through your body. You hear the din of men beginning to scream around you, and another call from commanders still not seen. And then another sound of that incoming screaming, as another jet black cloud rips upward, arcing, and comes crashing down into the lines, off to your left this time. You feel the press begin to push back, men pushing away from you, and the yells of commanders before you as men begin to push forward. Some forced back, some forced forward. And then yet another screaming, arcing projectile rips through the air. And as you glance upwards, fear grips your chest. You are trapped, locked in this mass of bodies as one of these projectiles arcs down towards you. And at the center of that jet black smoking cloud, there is a deep thrumming purple. And it is all you see as it impacts. And you wake bolt upright where you are sleeping, sweat drenching your body on the train, moving through the 1,000 fronts southwards.
He gets up and checks on everybody.
This is not a dream of your past. This is not something familiar. But it is vivid and raw. This would have been during Gendry's watch, actually. As you get up. You make the rounds. Honey and Trystan sleep. Gendry is seated with drink in hand.
Bullets.
Go out to Trystan, or to Gendry. You alright?
Doing better than you, from the looks of it.
I'm fine. Sorry.
I know that look.
I don't know if you do.
Right? And I just sort of like bring this sort of half keg on like a string that he wears over his shoulder and just put it on this thing next to me. It's like, this is how I get to sleep most nights.
I'm sorry for that.
You're welcome to use it if you'd like.
to drink when I'm having fun. I'm not having any particular amounts of fun right now. I just wanted to check on you guys, make sure everything was okay.
Haven't heard anything in the night.
Good. I'll let you get back to it.
All right. Turn the thing on the keg and pour myself another drink.
Okay. Do you want to make a constitution check for me there, Gendry, to see how slots you get on your watch?
Constitution save. 21.
21. You're a dwarf. You're a
Hi,
drinker. You're doing all right.
Nice.
Little buzz. Nice little buzz. Numbs the pain.
Just a little buzz for watch.
Perfect. Sig, eventually you get back to sleep, though it is long in coming. Gendry, you watch as Siegfried turns from you, his hair slicked to his forehead. That sweat. But eventually, the sun begins to rise. And again, we're going to continue travel onwards, southwards towards Rougemont. Please let me know if you need to stop at any time, but we'll fast track this a little bit. I have 2 people looking at me with things to do, and I'm excited for it.
Adam first.
Oh no, I wasn't prepared. At some point during this trip, since we all kind of, after having a talk, went into separate areas, and I kind of assumed that we've not necessarily kept that, but have been kind of very in our own brains. I think, if possible, can I try to roll to see if I hear that constant ticking that he keeps hearing at night?
So you're listening for the ticking?
He's finally actually listening for it.
Okay. Make a perception check for me.
Okay. Yeah. That's 17.
A 17.
Mm-hmm.
You find a quiet spot. You settle in. You focus. Are you focusing in any particular way, or just sitting there quietly?
I think Trystan is kind of like thinking through his past and thinking through the moments where he learned and explored and kind of has felt most comfortable with like what he's able to do. And I think he's focusing on those feelings and those moments of like quiet and peace, and seeing if it's somewhere in that ticking is that peace, if that makes sense.
You intentionally make things as peaceful as you possibly can for yourself. And in that, you find silence. The ticking is not there in the peace and the quiet.
Trystan would pull out his notebook and immediately flip to the back where he hasn't written anything, where it's like most of the front there's chaotic notes. And I think this is the first like order he has done where he just goes like, ticking is not in silence. And then that's the only line that he writes, closes the notebook, and is starting to, I think he's kind of getting to the point where he's trying to do the scientific theory of like testing something, seeing if it works, but he's actually trying to be as organized as possible.
But it's metaphysical, yeah.
But it's metaphysically, so it's like this weird, not scientific theory, but it is.
Yeah.
So I think that's his first like foray into doing that.
Perfect.
But yeah, I think he would just kind of spend the rest of the time being like, do I hear it? Like, even if like
reaffirming the the quiet theory, yeah.
Like hear something in the distance, like click off the track, and he's like, was that? Oh no.
Make an investigation check for me.
Okay. That's an 11.
Okay. You spend a couple hours re-facilitating and forcing that quiet upon yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and the ticking never comes. Kind of shores up your perspective around what you've written.
Yeah, I think it pulls out the notebook again and like underlines the "not in silence." And yeah, I think that's what he would do at this time and try to get his thoughts together with everything going on. That was my thing.
All right, thank you, Adam. And what do you got?
So, Honey is drawing out plans for a shield. As they'll spread it out on that table in the that table where we were all playing cards, just making notations, and they'll pull out pieces of the metal that they got from the scrapyard, kind of like testing it and seeing what is strong enough, what will work and what will function. And I think as they do this, they unconsciously are drumming on the table this rhythmic thump. And working as they plan this piece, there is this kind of peace that takes over them. And they go still at the table before their eyes close. There's this stillness except for the thumping. And then their eyes open, and it is this molten yellow as the rhythm picks up again, and they are moving the pieces. And as they do, their core heats to this molten yellow. There's this heat radiating through the space as if from a kiln. And this glow from the center of their chest as they pick up each of the pieces. And though there are no tools in their hands, it starts to form beneath their fingers. And this continual rhythm keeps on going for an hour until by the end, they finish their artisan's blessing and look down at a completed shield.
Okay. What does the shield look like?
It is this almost matte black. And there are these, they've taken one, throughout the course of it, unwittingly, they pulled out a Thaltian mark and then put it back in their pocket, pulled out a Castellian gold piece, and it melted into the veins of this shield, this symbolic tower of Vergercastle, almost like a rook on a chessboard. It's just the thin golden outline of a castle, and beneath it, it says, Decis et Tutamen in ancient Ryol, which means an ornament and a safeguard. And
Okay.
they stare down at it in shock for like 10 minutes.
Make a
Siegfried?
perception check for me.
Oh,
really
never
quick,
mind.
Honey, as well.
Okay.
And you absolutely can. I just want to see.
Yeah.
Something.
Natural 20 if you want to
Hey,
open the
that goddamn
giveaway.
giveaway.
5 minutes.
Open
5
that giveaway! Wooded Meadows, my friends, get entered right now with hashtag WM to get entered for one of Wooded Meadows' fine products. We're going to be trying that at the end of today's session. Now, with that perception check, and it is brief, but as you begin to cool, as the air around you begins to cool, as your artisan's blessing begins to cool, you feel it again, the buzz and the heat at the back of your neck for a moment. It lingers just seconds longer, but with a natural 20, you catch it before dissipating.
Can they try... to talk to it? I don't know how else to say it. Can they...
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Are you... Did you do this?
Make an insight check for me.
Insight... 18.
I'm gonna have you burn your feet for today.
Okay, that makes sense. That's fair enough.
And as you do, a feeling washes over you. There is no words, there are no responses, but somebody else's feeling enters your body. And you feel a mingling of panic, excitement, curiosity wash over you. Abruptly, out of nowhere, another person's feelings, and it is the feeling of anticipation, excitement at witnessing something new, a reaction to seeing something else created by someone else, a curiosity. And that surge of emotions washes over you, as the source of it seems to have been excited by what it was witnessing, not the source of it. And they recede.
What? I think they just sit.
Sorry, I didn't mean that. This
no,
is...
it's okay. What? What? Okay. No, it's fine. They, like, take the shield and, like a turtle shell, they just, like, swivel it onto their back and, like, okay. 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 And, like, flop forward. There's just a shield covering them. Siegfried?
Oh, you didn't
I'm
come through
under
that,
the
but
shield.
we
Can't hear you.
You're still muted.
Ah! What's up?
Is that what he says?
What happened?
What happened?
I made something for you.
It's not even my birthday. What's going on?
When's your birthday?
Moving on. You know, a day like everyone else's. What is...
Okay.
I imagine he can see the shield.
He can only see the shield right now.
There's a honey voice coming from under the shield, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to stay right there? Don't pop your head out.
Yeah.
He winds
Why not?
out. I'm gonna punch it, I think.
Okay.
Well,
I think...
I'm not. What did you... How did you
This is
make
gonna
this?
hurt.
We don't have a forge here.
Yeah, that's true.
What? Yeah, which is why I said it. Well, how did you make this?
Well, I was planning it. And I was designing it. And I was picking out the metal that I wanted to use to make it. And then it was made.
Hmm. So what you're telling me is your magic.
I think there is magic. And it is here. Do you know what the crucible is?
Yeah?
Guardian.
Fuck you, Josh. Yeah.
The crucible doesn't make anything, it just holds something. You know, it holds the molten metal, and even though it is made of clay, it can do it. but it does not make things. It is a tool.
You think you're a
And
tool?
I feel like I don't know, maybe.
Is it something you want to explore?
I think that it would be really crazy of me to not explore it. Because it is here, and it is
You'll see them
weird.
kind of make that notion, connecting it to what he noticed on the walk back. Well, I'm behind you. Look into it. It's a little big for you, don't you think, this shield?
I did not make it for me. I made it
was
for you.
kidding.
They unturtle it and hand it to him.
I think, given the nightmare, or at least that's how he's conceptualizing it, the other night, this sense of not being able to defend people, I think it is quickly washed over with emotion. He just sort of... This is very kind. What does this say? I can't read that.
It say, one moment, because I am bad at Latin. It say, decus et tutamen. This mean an ornament and a safeguard. I don't know if Virgil's Aeneid exists in this world, but it's from that.
Virgil, the royal elf.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I told you how to make your shield. I just thought it would take longer.
It's gorgeous.
The castle on it is the symbol of Virgo
Burger Castle. Yes. Can I give you a hug, please?
Yeah, of course.
Like he
I
just
hug him.
drops, and he is hard for him to hold back tears. I think that there is a symbology here, and this feeling of hopelessness that has sort of been filled by this seemingly simple item.
Hey, it is. It's okay.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Are
Yes.
you okay?
Yes, yes. When we get back to, I had a dream. It was strange, and I'd like to talk to you about it when we're not on the train.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Thank you. He slides it onto his back. Feels good. Feels complete. Thank you.
Of course. They look like deeply confused, but like pleased to see. I think as they see it on him, they're like, I do need to figure this out. Cause it like so perfect. But yeah.
Anything else anyone would like to try and accomplish in this train ride? The hours whittle away as it gets again close to night. This being essentially a 2-day journey, as the train moves towards, you begin to see the telltale slight patches of shrublands and green. You cross the region where you fought off the highwaymen. You continue southwest, and eventually you can see the lit walls, massive floodlights that shine out across the Thousand Fronts from Chateau de Coyonnet. And as the train approaches, that, my friends, is where we are going to take a break for today.
Break time.
Guys,
Hey.
we will be back in 10 minutes. While we're away, you can enter another giveaway because, my God, we have just some really generous sponsors giving away all kinds of cool stuff. We have our Skull Splitter dice giveaway. Use exclamation point in win. Exclamation point win in chat To get entered, followers get 1 entry, subscribers get 2. If you're going to subscribe to it beforehand, it's not retroactive, and you get entered in a giveaway we'll be drawing at the end of the month for a skull mug filled with approximately 100 of Skull Splitter's finest dice. So stick around for that, my friends. Get entered. We will be back in 10 minutes. Goodbye. Oh boy.
Bye, bud. A little early.
Hi there, my name's Sloan, and you're on the Welcome In. If you're new here, or you just need a little bit of a refresher as to what's going on in our campaigns, you can find that information over on our fandom wiki. There you'll find info about our PCs, our NPCs, and write-ups of all of our past episodes. But if reading isn't really your thing, you can also find arcs of our campaigns summarized in neat little 10-minute videos over on our YouTube, where you can also catch all of our past broadcasts. Thanks so much for watching, and welcome in! Ding!
Your inner dice dragon, just use the code, get 10% off your first order. Shop today. New adventurers will get some things like a sticker pack with 3 stickers, free downloadable PDF adventure, a free mystery dice set. It's so sick. Hold on to your skull, cause it might split. SkullSplitterDice.com. Hurry now, bring some new dice home. SkullSplitterDice.com. Hurry now, bring some new dice home.
Well, howdy, folks, to our Kyle XY fan podcast. I don't know anything about Kyle XY, so let's play D&D instead.
He's a
Yay!
clown.
Sorry, Sean.
Damn you,
I-
democracy.
I hate to disappoint you.
He's a clone.
It's fine.
Sean came here for the Kyle XY. I lied to him. Guys, when we left off, our fearless party had been sitting on a train, being cool. They... Great word usage, Josh. They had made their ways back across the Thousand Fronts after retrieving Gendry's new, or longtime friend, Mac. Concealing Mac away inside their strange lantern-like home, they joined back with the AR camp and hopped on the railway, headed back towards Chateau de Coyonnet, part of Rougemont. During that time, the party had some intense conversations about what to do next. With some still outstanding leads to consider, they took stock. They played a little bit of cards loosely. It lasted not very long.
No, we didn't.
You pretended to play cards, all of you different games.
You handed out 5 cards to each of us. That's what happened.
Yes, there you go. Honey made a shield. Some folks had some scary dreams, and one of them got drunk. And now we rejoin our party late into the evening. In fact, beyond the evening. Night truly has fallen. It is probably about 11 p.m. The town of Chateau de Coyonnet has headed to bed. There's still the sound of a few folks out at the taverns, a little jaunty music here and there echoing over the walls, as you find yourselves exiting the main carriage of the train and stepping down onto the wooden platform of the train. Just a second, Alec. As you guys are getting off, you do see the conductor approach. But Alec, what do you got for me?
I can do it at a later time. Go for it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Is it on the train stuff? Do we need to rewind?
No.
Okay.
I'll find a time. We're good. Yeah.
Okay. As you kind of begin to hop off the train, you see the conductor approaching. Thank you very much. If you would like, you can come with me down to the work yard, and we can make sure that you get paid for your work. There is also the conversation of how you want to proceed. I would like to talk to my supervisor, but I understand that there may be reticence there from you.
Your supervisor is...
The chief engineer. This is information I am obligated to pass on to them.
That makes sense. Would you all like to go with, or?
I would very much like to.
I'd like the money that we were offered.
I think the plan is getting paid first and then going there, correct, conductor?
It is in the same place.
Okay.
The engineer will have your pay.
Can I ask one extra thing, if you don't mind?
Of course.
You mind giving me a good word? Just future stuff.
Of course. If this is what you want to do you want to stay with the train here and work with us?
I don't know what the future has to hold. I kind of believe in fate kind of pulling different strings, and at least having a string here would be nice in case,
Well, you certainly. I have all 4 of you to thank greatly for protecting Brunhilde and for doing the right thing. But there are so many questions to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you tell us what the foreman looked like?
The one here, Gilbert?
Griggs, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. As I pull my notes up. Gilbert is a half-elven individual, mask, kind of long, dirty brown hair, towering individual, quite bulky. He's a bit uncouth, but he's always been good at logistics. He has a tent among the other men at the camp. It might be worth trying to speak to him.
Maybe
I
we
don't.
go for it, honey. Please, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you first.
It just would it make sense for us to go talk to Griggs after we know that the conductor is safe?
Yes, I am worried that we may run into this individual
There.
out of office hours. If, this is the person responsible for loading the armaments onto the train. I imagine he would know that something is up if they are communicating with the Eladrin.
That is certainly true. I could use her protection, of course. She kind of touches the wrench at the side of her. There is a stoicism and a strength to this woman, but nonetheless, she doesn't look forward to that sort of threat or danger.
Happy to offer that if you feel it necessary. Definitely don't want to throw you into a position where you're in more danger.
Then shall we go to the engineer? When she is aware of the issue, then I will also feel safer.
That makes sense.
And you? She kind of looks to Trystan and Gendri.
Sure. Lead the way.
Yeah, I'll go. Again, if you don't mind putting in a good word.
Of course, yes. We will get you all paid. And you can begin to kind of follow her. And we will switch maps really quick. How about that?
Now, can I interject and do my thing now as we're walking?
Of course, yeah.
I think as the crew is sort of moving forward, Sig will just kind of fall back to wherever Gendri is. I said something the other night. I wanted to apologize. I don't know what you've been through. I made an assumption and that was stupid of me. I don't know if I invalidated your experience about anything, but if I did, I apologize.
We spoke.
Good talk, Gendry. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, we did. It was on your watch.
Last night. Right. Yep.
Yeah.
No hard feelings. You're fine. Honestly, I probably would have done the same in your position.
The point is, I'm trying to garner your trust and respect. That was not the way to do it, so I apologize.
Right. Well, I'm not entirely, let's say, contracted by the people we're going to meet with. So if you can convince them to pay me, that'll be a better way to prove it.
They'll sort of lean down. How about you take the rest of my payment, then?
That's not exactly who I'm trying to fleece.
Who are you trying to fleece?
Whoever runs this town.
The mayor's a nice enough man.
I don't know.
I'll give you 50% of what I'm paid. Fair?
I don't want your money. I
don't want my money either.
Right, fine.
Okay.
I'll hold on to yours until I get mine.
You know what? That's a fair.
Let's go.
Wait, that's not. I didn't agree to that. Walks up to Honey. I think I've been bamboozled, and I was offering money.
What?
He'll relay the entirety of the weird fucking conversation that just happened.
No, I think you offered it to him.
But then he said something at the end that
Influence anybody.
he'll just. Am I? Honey, you've known me for a couple weeks at this point. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Like, can you look me here?
I'm so afraid of this. Yeah?
Do you think I'm stupid?
You're not stupid. You don't like holding onto your money, though.
That is true. I fucking despise it. Okay, links arms with them and sort of just keeps walking.
I feel like I missed something.
No, I'm not stupid, Trystan. We're fine.
No, I know you're not stupid.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Did you get fleeced by Gendry?
Did I? Moves forward.
All right. You guys follow. It's not a long walk as you are led down towards a large construction site. You can see along the side of the tracks here, there are these raised platforms and a hemmed-in, walled-in yard that surrounds these platforms. Jutting from these platforms are these large cranes. This is where equipment is loaded on and off, much larger and more established structures here. On the western side of the track, the side you're coming down, you can see a number of tents that have been erected into a sort of hodgepodge camp that you're fairly certain is where the individuals who work on the rail from this end, loading supplies, make their stay. The individuals who can't afford to stay or live in the town proper. Sort of ramshackled, long-lived camping spot. But the conductor leads you across the rails where there is this sort of dirt track that goes up over the mound that forms the rails and across the rails and then down towards a large compound every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
I'm such a dick. I'm so fucking sorry.
I was doing it too.
You see this series of like low outbuildings that have been constructed clearly as offices and barracks for some of the more senior engineers. And as you kind of approach, you actually see the chief engineer standing waiting, having registered the train coming in and knowing that that means that the conductor will be headed this way. There is a nod towards you all. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I know this will be a disadvantage, and it probably won't, but they would be looking around for a figure matching the description of Griggs as they walked.
Yeah, make a perception check. Where are you getting disadvantage from for that?
From using my feet.
Got it.
That was before your rest.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
You've long rested.
then never
You
mind.
got it back.
Okay, I got it back. Then it's not bad.
I don't know how it works.
is.
I'm just saying that was yesterday,
There
technically.
was
No,
it's
that
a
makes
reset
sense.
on the rest. You are right.
Yay! So that is good. That is a 23.
23. Distinctly, you are quite certain. There's not a lot of folks out and about around the yard now. You see a few folks like standing guard. None of them match the description of a large, hulking, kind of draggly-haired, brown-haired man that has been described to you as you approach. You are certain of that with that roll.
Thank you.
Yes. As you approach the chief engineer, there is a connecting of eyes between the conductor and the engineer, and a smile and a nod. And then it turns to you all. It is good to see you all. I assume it went well. And the conductor kind of steps forward immediately and begins filling them in on the success of your specific objective, which was to defend the train. Not going into other matters immediately, and handling this outside, assuming that you are to be paid, and then close things out. You all knowing a little better that perhaps there is more conversation involved. But as that kind of explanation of your exploits and rave review of your capacity, all of you, especially a little extra of Trystan, a satchel of 120 gold coins handed over to you. 45 for Gendry, 45 for Trystan, and 45 for Honey.
Can I just look into it and
elf.
go, I think there's a bit missing.
Make a deception check for me.
Fuck yeah. Oh, bad. Deception? 12.
Yeah. 12. I'll have her insight you.
12 missing gold pieces.
There was a 16 on the dice for her. She goes,
Minus?
no, it is all quite accounted for. I'm afraid I double checked.
That may be the case, but I know that Mr. Gendry was not there when we made our deal, which is why there may be some sort of misunderstanding, but he is the reason that
When he pleases them. Okay.
It's just like,
he is the reason that things went so well. He jumped right into the fray.
Make a persuasion check for me.
it's
I'm okay.
This close,
15.
Alex, let's do it.
A 15. I will just give it to you on a 15, where you watch her eyes narrow a little bit, but this isn't like gross behavior bartering. And she goes, as I recall, the lump sum agreed upon for your entire contingent was 120, but I can understand you wanting to be paid for each individual, and you did add a fourth. We'll add 45 gold more. Does that seem equitable? Given your success here, I would not want to lose you as a possible resource in the future.
Yeah, Gendry
That sounds
deserves his
very
payment.
Smart.
Okie dokie, here you go. And she turns and opens her own coin purse, which you're pretty sure is funds for the rail, and hands over
Okay.
another 45.
That's
So a
good
total
money.
of 45 gold pieces each you will retrieve.
And this
yeah.
is Rougemont?
This would be
Rougemont,
Rouge
yeah.
marks.
Rouge marks. I have so many different types to keep track of. Help.
I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
You can
I'm just
lump
like
sum the gold and then say like this much Rouge, this much Thaltian, this much Castilian.
okay.
Okay. As you guys kind of spend a little, or sorry, she hands over the gold and kind of looks you all over, and kind of looks at the conductor and says, "Well, is business concluded?" And the conductor kind of goes, "My dear, we should probably step inside and have a conversation." And you see her pause at that and look at her partner and nod and go, "Very well, we can go into my office." And she turns and leads you into this structure.
Oh, we're all going.
If you'd like to.
Sure. I didn't know
you
if they
don't-
meant just the two of them or not.
Oh, sorry, she was referring to the group.
Gotcha.
If you would like to, however, you can say, "Fuck you, I'm out of here," and you can cheese it away.
No, I wouldn't do that.
You could set fire to the whole town.
I'm so
Dungeons
cordial.
and Dragons. So cordial.
Ooh, I
Is-
gotta light fire to the whole town.
Can I
I put it on the table now.
just keep an eye out as we're heading in for anybody like inside the building, anybody on the outskirts that may pique interest? I just want to make sure we're pretty safe.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
What's the mayor look like?
The mayor is not here.
Is
I
there
don't know.
is there anybody at the service desk?
Uh, so, as you enter, you are not going into the town hall. You are going
Got
into
it,
the
got it,
compound for the.
Sorry.
right?
Sorry.
The folks here, Gendry, for your first time, you haven't met one of them, which is the chief engineer. It is this kind of fairly tall Norkai dwarf woman with this long braid, a very intense jawline to her, very stern and stoic, wearing accoutrements that you've seen on Norkai engineers in the past. She kind of leads you into this structure, and what you are greeted with is a front workroom that is mostly drafting tables, where you're fairly certain the engineers tend to work. There are kind of work spots strewn all around, and as you kind of walk past, you see most of the designs here, or none of the designs here, are left out. Wherever they are kept hidden away. There are the tools for drafting. There are pieces of parchment. There are chalk lines, there are compasses, so on and so forth, but the actual diagrams and documents are missing. The engineers themselves have also long since turned in for the night. And she leads you back down a small hallway and into what is her personal office. You step in, and this room would be spacious were there not way too many stacks of bookshelves added in to either side of this room, jammed in. On either side. As you glance, there aren't, again, blueprints stored here, but theoretical texts, none of them touching upon Norkai design specifically, but a lot of things around the design of like wagon rights, cart wains, various machinery found across the nations of northern Itdar, Trystan, that would ring a little true to you and familiar to you as you walk by. Her desk is quite well kept compared to the bookshelves. Everything seems to be ordered immaculately. And as you step through, she kind of ushers you all in, steps into the room, and closes the door, leaving the four of you, the conductor and the chief engineer, now in this room. So, what is this all about? She kind of turns to look at each one of you, her own wife included.
Is her wife not going to explain?
if nobody else steps forward, she kind of will. She gives you all a moment to speak because I'm the DM and I have to let the party speak first.
That's totally fine.
But if nobody says anything, she can step forward.
There was an issue on the train. More than that, it appears that he sort of looks back at Honey, Trystan, and Gendri for just like approval to speak openly.
Can I insight check the engineer as Siegfried says what he's about to say?
Yes, but I will have Siegfried say it if that's your MO there. Yeah, roll insight for me.
That's what I was.
I love a proactive insight check. You may make one as well if you'd like to, Trystan.
It is quite apparent that somebody is running guns through your train. Supplying...
There is a scoff in response to that, as if that is the most absurd thing she's ever heard.
Excuse me. We saw it our fucking selves. It may sound unbelievable. Somebody is hiding guns in your train and giving them to the Eladrin on the fronts. They shot at us, tried to get it, and they ran off.
The scoff is quickly replaced by, as the seriousness of all of you and the paleness of her partner standing next to you facing her begins to set in. What are my insight checks?
25.
Ooh.
Hey, Josh, open up that giveaway again because I got a natural one.
I love that you let it up until it was a natural one.
It's still open, guys. Critical failures. You get entered. Thank you, Trystan, for that.
But total, it's a 3.
A 3. Trystan.
You can only enter the giveaway once, by the way. I don't think we mentioned that at the top. You only get one entry per
yes, it doesn't
username.
Yeah,
there's no subscription doubling it or anything, but...
Yes. My apologies.
No, you
Thank you, Sean. Good point.
You're good.
Trystan, you kind of like almost... You're like... If you hadn't seen it, you're like, oh, maybe she's right. Maybe we are being crazy with that critical failure. You're like, you know what? That does sound absurd when I'm listening.
Sound stupid.
What an insane
We are
thing.
overreacting. What am I saying?
Who would do that? But quickly, obviously, you're like, oh, no, I fucking saw this. Honey, as she begins to recoil from this, you are not getting a vibe that she was aware of this. There is a disbelief out of shock that is coming from this person that you're getting with this insight check, but not a hiding, almost more of a denial around the matter than an attempt to conceal anything. And you are quite sure of that with a 25.
Okay. So we need to know how they got onto the train.
And you immediately begin to see gears turn. As this quite intelligent individual begins to process things. Have you checked the logs?
Yes.
Of course we checked the logs.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. There's a correlation in the logs to I did, and I think Trystan wouldn't show his notebook, but would just be like, yeah, I figured out how the correlation works between food and different supplies being raised for certain things versus the times the trains got hit. Are
they being doctored? What is?
They're not being doctored. It's just that they are being doctored. But sorry. Here, do you mind? And assuming that she has a version of the log.
She does.
Okay, and he is gonna kind of flip through and be like as an example page, point to one of the ones that got hit and be like, all right, see these numbers? These correlate with this number, and he's going to go through and kind of show how he made the equation to get that,
all of a sudden, there's a camaraderie that forms when you start talking numbers, and she comes in next to you and is deeply engaged with it, and for a moment almost forgets why you guys are talking about this, because you're just talking mathematical equations. Which she very much appreciates until the reality sets back in, and then she kind of steps away and touches her temple and says, "You are correct. If there are people doctoring, have you investigated the foreman north and south?"
Hout seems in the clear. We have not investigated Griggs. I would like to know if he has been acting suspiciously since yesterday morning. They have means of communicating with him. If it is him.
He's a ruffian, but I don't know. We haven't been keeping tabs on them in the yard because there's been no train to put things on. We should check his tent.
Where does he stay?
He has a tent amongst the men down on the field. That is where they are all kept. And she kind of turns to her partner and says, "You have spoken of this to nothing? No one?" "Yes, we have remained silent thus far. We need more information. Even revealing this to the authorities could mean war without enough context. We need to know who is responsible for this."
Might I ask, does anybody in your employ have context? And this is Adam forgetting what the gun manufacturer's name was.
Jean-Marc.
Jean-Marc. Does anybody in your employ have contacts to Jean-Marc or anything along
Not
those
that
lines?
I am aware of. We tend to avoid that sort of business. It would be a bad connection to have.
Makes
But
sense.
we are the two major employers in this town.
Well, those were the guns. The Jean-Marc guns were the ones on your train.
We need to get to Griggs.
Yes. We also need to figure out maybe if somebody is strong-arming Jean-Marc munitions, getting their guns, marking out the serial numbers. You're right, we need more information, and we need your help to get it.
As you are talking, you watch her eyes narrow and begin to settle on each of you as she seems to be scrutinizing you, and as if you are to be trusted with this matter. There's a pause at the end, Siegfried, as you begin to kind of outline next steps. And she kind of nods. "Very well. You will help us in this task? This is something you are all on board for?" She pauses to look at each and every one of you. "You can walk away now. You are not culpable for this. You have done your job."
What can I ask what exactly we're signing up for, if you don't?
It seems like your companions wish to help track down Griggs.
Yeah.
My intent is to find more information.
I can do
How we
that.
proceed with that is difficult, but you have proven yourselves competent. And I cannot bring the town guard in yet without risk of this spreading.
Yeah. I mean, I'm willing to do it.
Sure, sounds easy.
Is Gendry absolutely lying through his teeth?
No, finding one person sounds pretty easy.
Okay, perfect. Do this, and we will reward you heavily. This entire project would owe you.
You
So should start with his tent.
I was going to say the same thing. Okay.
He has never been popular among his men.
That's good to know.
Do you have any sort of means of showing authority?
Do you mean like a pass or a way through?
Like a pass or a uniform or something?
She kind of glances down at the work clothes, and you've seen most folks are laborers here. This is a very specific. Okay. She says, "I can give you a missive. It will only get as far as the camp. It will not carry weight within the town, but it could help you here."
That would be appreciated.
Keep in mind, I am leadership, and no matter how much they dislike Griggs, they are not a fan of me either. If these signs that they refuse to ride the train are any evidence of that, we are, you know.
Can I ask who they do like?
They tend to frequent the inns and taverns, the men themselves.
Okay.
They like the people, not the leadership.
They are just common folk working to get some coin. Our lofty ideals do not mean a lot to them. They have seen enough poverty and destitution and war for one lifetime.
All the more reason to solve this. So if you could give us that missive just in case anybody question us, that would be great.
She turns and pulls a piece of parchment, and you can see there's the Amity Rail Project seal stamped on it, which is just this little rail track. And she quickly scribbles out a missive that just says this person is operating on the behalf of Chief Engineer Blida Blida. And then she stamps it with her seal. You know the one, and then passes it over to you. Voldeberg, I believe, is her actual name.
Voldeberg, Ebener.
Yeah, that's it. There you go, Ebener. She passes the missive over to you.
Okay. Do we want to head to the camp tonight?
I think so.
Why not?
Just making sure. Thank you. I know that this comes as a shock. And I don't mean to sound cruel in my delivery, but thank you for hearing us out.
You're doing us a favor. This is... And there is this almost look through you. Beyond comprehension. I thank you all. If you need anything, come to me. We will keep our silence for now.
Good. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Start to move forward.
I can't remember what day it is. I slap you with Blessing of the Forge, Siegfried.
It would be...
It's the next day.
The next day.
It's the next day? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it would be.
He's
Oh,
in the
you're not
cave.
asking which actual... Yes.
I just remembered that because it is the next day, I didn't do the thing.
Yes.
I do that.
Absolutely.
He'll cast Shield of Faith back.
It would be X.
Don't do that. It only lasts a minute.
Oh shit, I'm done. Never mind.
Or 10 minutes.
I'll wait.
Yeah.
Lasts until I hit you hard enough that you drop it.
Hit me!
That's fair. We're
Get
heading
it,
down
let's
to the encampment.
Yes, okay.
Moving right along.
It is, again, late at night here. As you glance, you can see the walls of the main construction yard guarded by a few of these worker figures you were just speaking of. Individuals in common clothes with little towny hats on, newsy hats, just leaning against the walls, kind of watching y'all. Not particularly worried. They're really there just to raise an alarm if somebody tries to steal something. They're not fighters or soldiers. And you make your way down the hill in the dark towards the camp. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No. You're good?
You walk through kind of the darkness. It is a very short walk over to this couple rows of tents, at the center of which sit a few campfires. A few of them still burning low. And you can see figures milling around them. A few folks who have been up a little late, and Gendri perhaps a little deep into their cups. You can see them milling about. No major conversation, just quiet, sort of dotted around a few of these campfires. How do you approach?
With letter in hand, apparently.
Do we all
It's
want?
just for if someone questions us.
Do we all want to walk up, or do people want to post in positions they're more comfortable in? Gendri, I know you're good at range.
What are we doing here?
What?
We're just bringing him back for questioning, right?
Yeah, I just don't know if anybody wanted to take any sort of defensive position.
I think we just woke up to him and asked him a few questions.
Fair enough. Right.
I agree. Walk up, ask him some questions. I mean, we're kind of like sure it's him, right?
Looking around this campfire, do we see any half-elven men with long hair?
Make a perception check for me.
If it's not him, then we have no idea who it is.
The natural something?
It's a natural 20, but I don't know where my phone went.
Open that
You're
giveaway!
fine. Guys,
I just
don't
wanted to
need-
take a
I know,
picture
but
of
tell us
this.
so we can keep playing, guys, and
Nat
then we'll
20.
continue onwards. As you get your nat 20, amazing. We open our giveaway, my friends. So everyone kind of opens the giveaway.
Yep.
And yeah, wow, I'm narrating the giveaway as Dungeon Master. I'm
Look, they're
completely
doing the
off my game.
giveaway by the fire.
My God,
fire.
fireworks go off and everyone's happy. Get yourself entered, #WM to get in on that. Now, as you are looking with a natty 20, you are quite certain nobody who is Gilbert Griggs, matching that description is there. There are a few different individuals. You see some halfling folk, some half-elf folk, some folks who should human lineage, all milling about. With a natural 20, there is one figure who seems to be kind of... You get that sense of informal leadership. A figure who seems to like maybe be popular. There are a few other folks sitting around listening raptly as he's telling a absolutely outlandish tale that is incredibly bawdy and will not be repeated by me about a individual whom he met with in the
There
town.
once was a man from Nantucket.
He put his dick inside of a bucket.
That doesn't
What?
Uh,
It's not where I thought I was going.
They will sit down at this fire and listen to the end of the story and laugh with everyone else.
Okay. As you approach, you know what? How fucking drunk and stupid are they? They've been drinking. We're gonna do this at disadvantage to see if they even. Okay. How are you approaching them to do this? Just like joining in, kind of.
I sit next to the drunkest looking motherfucker, like lean in and just start giggling at whatever story is
Okay, I'm
happening.
gonna make a persuasion roll for me. As you're not actually trying to persuade anybody, but you're kind of persuading your way into the group.
14.
14. Okay, yeah, that's enough. 11. They got an 11. Oh no,
Okay.
I'm sorry, it was disadvantage. They got an 8. As the story kind of continues onwards, as Honey just kind of inserts themselves inward, you hear him kind of finish it with a, and then I itched for 6 days.
Oh, that sounds like it sucked.
And they kind of a laugh, folks. The guy next to you goes, "Isn't that right? Bloody fucking brilliant!" And he slaps you across the back.
Oh, yeah.
And they kind of break into small conversations around the campfire now, a little more hushed. The other three of you, what are you guys doing?
Gonna look for a leadership tent.
Okay,
check
make
out
a
their
perception
stuff.
check for me.
Yeah, let's go right through his
19.
things first.
19. There is the tents are basically in consecutive rows. And they're all the same sort of, they're not shoddily made, but they've been out for a long time. It seems like they've been here for years. There is a slightly better kept looking tent that is a little larger, that is near the end off to the left, that is separated a little bit away from the others and just a little bit bigger. That's the main differentiation. Not much dramatically, but there certainly is one there.
He will walk up to everybody and let them know that. Is that where we're going?
Are you walking towards Honey or the other two? Honey has kind of immersed themselves into the group now.
I will let Trystan and Gendri know since they're the closest, and then he's not going to let anybody operate without any information. He will go to Honey.
And there are Thaltian accents in this circle being used, correct?
Thaltian and a Falanachi.
Do we all hear the
You can hear the exchange. Honey has intentionally inserted themselves in a way of subterfuge. If you walk up, that may not be the case. So you guys can decide how you want to play it from here. So if you're just going to kind of approach, you absolutely can do that. Just let me know.
Okay.
I'm
well,
going
you
to
tell
in
me what
5
you're doing.
seconds.
okay.
No one else has a better plan. I'm going to do that
I'm
in 5
glad-
seconds.
Okay.
Honey sitting next to the most drunk person they could find, saying, "I'm glad Griggs he wasn't here to overhear that story. Do you know where he went?"
Oh, too fucking right. Wanker's probably off at that fancy hotel. I don't know how that fuckwit fell into the money's ad recently, but he disappeared right off. I tell you what.
What a cunt. Thank you
He's
so
an
much.
asshole. And you know what? I've played that asshole. He says he got a gambler, but I've played that asshole in cards. Fucking took him for plenty. So I've never seen him do any good on it.
Well, keep taking him. By the way, which tent is his? I forget. I can't walk straight.
Hold on. At disadvantage. That's a 4. He says, "You've been drinking way too fucking much." What's your
I
name
know.
again?
Miranda.
Miranda. That's right. Fucking Miranda. You're Bonnie's friend, yeah?
That's right, yeah.
All right, Miranda. Yeah, no, it's the big one over there, away from the others, because he says we smell like poverty. Asshole.
What a shit. You're a peach. They give him a kiss on the cheek and they leave.
Okay.
Not right.
As you're about to, however, I will say, is it Sieg approaching, correct? Is that your plan?
He would have let Gendry and Trystan know that they should head to the tent.
Okay.
Oh.
That's fine.
Great.
All right.
Start walking forward
Walk.
Go to the
Where
10,
are you guys all headed?
toward Griggs's tent.
10.
Okay. The 3 of you are headed towards Griggs' tent.
Correct.
Okay. So I will say you kind of, as Honey is having this conversation, you kind of slip around. Are you approaching stealthily or just kind of making your way over?
Kicking
nonchalantly?
the flaps.
I will attempt to, and as I do, I will cast Bless on everybody.
Okay. Make a stealth check for me.
You guys get a D4.
That's on ability checks or attack rolls and saving throws for bless.
Never mind, I'm dumb as fuck.
Whoopsies.
You're
You can
good.
take that back. The spell's
No, I'll burn it.
You're good.
Might come in handy. I don't fucking know what's in here.
Okay. As you approach, the folks are in drink. They don't seem. Well, what are those stealth rolls? I'm sorry.
I got a natural 20 and a 17.
Open that giveaway.
Nope.
Hey!
Oh,
Yeah.
no, because he's
Never
I
mind.
a
Close
have
it.
disadvantage.
Oh, never mind. Close the giveaway.
Sorry.
shoot.
Sorry.
Got 21.
21. And was that a
15.
17 you said and a 15?
Correct.
Okay. Very good rolls. You're able to kind of slip along the shadows of the campfire towards the tents. As you approach, you just push your way in.
Yeah.
Okay. You push your way into the tent unnoticed. Glancing around, immediately you see a small cot near the end, a small writing desk that seems to be, at least on the surface, empty. The space, there is no person in it, and there's not a lot of personality to it. It seems like a workman's tent at first glance. You have the space to yourselves uninterrupted.
Well, shit.
Does the writing desk have like drawers to it, or is it just like a?
There are a few drawers on the side, yeah.
Okay.
Roll top.
It's cool. It's a good aesthetic.
I think Trystan would walk over to the desk and not reach into the drawer, but reach on like the bottom side of the desk to see if there's like a blade or anything like under there, like prepared for like if
Make an
you know
investigation check, yeah. As you begin to kind of take a look at the drawer. What are the other two?
Hey man, open that giveaway. 'Cause that's another natural one.
No,
I'm not fucking with you.
baby.
I'm not fucking with you at
It's a
all.
knife. Stab.
Ow.
Looking for any sort of documentation or paperwork.
Okay, make an investigation check for
Looking
me.
to see
Sigrid.
how long it's been since someone was in here.
Make an investigation check for me.
9.
9. Okay.
16.
16. Okay, rough rolls. Siegfried, as you are looking
16.
around, there, well, except for Gendry, obviously, and we'll get to you in a second. I'm so sorry.
No,
As you look around, Siegfried, glancing at the various spaces around the room. You're not seeing any signs of paperwork immediately visible to you as you kind of make a cursory glance. There's nothing left out and about. You know that. With a critical fail, Trystan, as you reach under, you like grope around for like a switch or a knife and actually get a splinter of this like big piece of wood stuck in the end of your finger. You take 1 point of piercing damage.
Oh, baby.
Gendri, as you begin to look around using kind of a honed tracking skill, whoever's room this was, they haven't been here for a few days.
What?
Possibly longer. The bed doesn't look like it's been used in a while. But as you kind of walk over... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said relay. I relay that.
As you relay that and kind of walk over, you take a look around, and with a 16, you kind of glance down and under the bed, and there is a wadded up piece of paper that has been tossed at some point. It's back under the bed in a corner. And honey, this would be when you are able to approach if you'd like to.
Cool. Detect magic immediately.
Okay, as you walk in and kick
consume
that
the
off.
paper.
No magic. You are able to retrieve the paper and do whatever you want with it, Sean.
Sig will use
I
his
will-
healing hand to cure Trystan.
You know,
Hey!
I'm good.
I already burned it. It's only 3 hit points. It's not my land hands. Take it, baby.
I will unfurl the paper.
Okay. With detect magic,
Like a
you
rug.
see nothing. Of
No
magical
sending
means.
stone.
No sending stone. None of those sorts of things.
Ooh.
Gendri, on the piece of paper... Oh my god, right, it's up here.
Too many monitors.
Paper keeps moving.
You receive
It's alive!
this.
Oh, it's an
Piece of
Xbox
paper.
controller.
As you unfurl this crumpled piece of paper, there are handwritten notes across the top of it. Misspelling of the word cipher several times, followed by these weird grids with these letters outlined across them.
Stupid word.
Stupid.
Right. Probably important. And I just hand it around so everyone can see it. Ending in whoever wants to keep its hands.
I'm alright keeping it if you want.
Sure. Copy it in your notebook too.
Yeah, he 100% as he's like gets the piece of paper, goes, yep, and just instantly draws this cipher on a page of the notebook.
All right, I will give you the handout for this in Roll20, Adam.
Oh, thank you.
Other than this, no sign of him for a few days.
Honey, did you get anything from the group out there?
Yeah, he might be at the fancy hotel in town.
Does that ring any bells?
Yes, to you, that would likely be...
Was I in the basement of this place?
You were not.
Okay, cool.
You were in a different location.
This is not the goat.
No, this is
The goat!
the goat.
Sorry.
This would likely be the Twin Hills Hotel and Spa, Siegfried. That's the most bougie establishment in the town.
Twin Hills. Hotel and
I
spa.
also learned that he came into a lot of money despite being shit at cards.
Sounds like you might be dealing guns.
It recently happened to me.
You built guns?
I'm shit at cards and I'm 45 gold richer.
Fair.
You happen to know an idiot, so... Cool. Okay, do we want to try and figure this out while we're here, or do we want to try and figure this out on the way to Twin Hills?
I think this is just a cipher. There is no missive along with it.
Right.
I only looked under the desk and I cut my hand, so I didn't really look in it.
Oh,
I don't know if we were going through stuff. I've never really done this level of like I've stolen stuff out of like my siblings' rooms and stuff, but like nothing to this level. But
Why don't you try opening the drawers?
okay. And Trystan opens the drawer. Like you can tell he's very nervous to do this. Like I am breaking laws. Like
The top drawer you open, and there are quills and ink pots in this drawer. Writing materials for somebody who is responsible for keeping logs and information like that. As you go to open the second drawer, it's actually locked.
This one's locked. I don't.
Right. And I'll try and pick it. Fuck it.
All right.
Pull out thieves' tools.
Hell yeah!
Shit.
And
You're
I
proficient
try
with those,
and
yeah?
open that. Yeah.
Beautiful.
One of my languages. And I will
These tools.
attempt to pick it. Is that just straight with proficiency, or do I add dex to that?
You can use your sleight of hand and your proficiency.
Okay.
If you're already proficient with sleight of hand, then I'll let you add your
I'm not.
proficiency on top of that. Okay.
Oh, shit, really? Okay.
Just for you, Josh, while they're doing the brain work, Sig is obviously not good at that, so he is going to watch the door.
Oh, make a perception check for me, my friend.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Oh,
Wow.
Open. Giveaway.
Woo! You guys are on fire today with that shit.
I'm failing my way through it, and everybody else getting that 20.
As you are watching, you are fairly certain you're solid, Gendry. Everyone seems to be pretty deep within their cups.
Who?
I'm
Where are
sorry,
you?
Siegfried. Jesus Christ, I'm doing it already. As you kind of watch out through the crack of the front of the tent, nobody seems to be coming near you. You see, like, one guy get up and stagger off, clearly to piss, but
He'll have his shield on his arm and his hand on the end of his sword, just in case.
perfect. Sean,
24.
24. It is a very simple lock. Just a simple key lock with like a few joins on it that's a twist and pop. You find no problem immediately opening this.
Fuck yeah. I say that out loud. I say, fuck yeah.
Okay.
And then I pull it open.
Wow.
Inside, you find a logbook, exactly like the one that is being kept or held by the engineer.
A
That-
matching manifest?
Yes. Wow, good alliteration.
This dastardly dock work.
God bless it.
I
Magnificent.
skim through the pages. Any of them make any sense, or do they look encoded in some way?
They do not look encoded. In fact, as you're flipping through, everything seems to check out on this.
Everything seems to check out as in there's nothing. I don't need this book.
Make an investigation check for me, actually. I'm so sorry.
Shit. I can't read. 4.
A 4. Okay. Yeah, nothing seems to stand out to
Yeah,
you.
this is just a normal book. Hand it back down the line, like everything else I found.
Okay, who's getting it? Who's there to retrieve the book? I know Sig is doing watch duty. Trystan, okay. You are handed a manifest by Gendry.
Was this the only thing that's in there?
Yep.
No, make an investigation
Oh.
check for me one more time.
I think I was told it was in there.
Baby-
that
baby
one's
drumming.
16.
16.
17 minus 1.
The door is shallow.
The door is shallow?
Or my God, what is with me in words
The
today? I'm
floor
so
is
sorry,
shallow.
guys. The floor of this drawer
I
is
misheard you.
shallow.
That's what it was. I
The
just
floor
like,
is
oh.
lava.
I punched the bottom of the drawer and try and pull it out.
It goes bong as like
Yeah, I try and tip it up.
It is
Take it upside down.
spring loaded, and as you bop it, it goes boing and lifts up, and there's a small compartment underneath it. The first thing
I
you
check
see
it for
Gendry-
traps.
Okay, man. What was your investigation check again?
It was a 16.
16. With that investigation check, as you pop it open, it's spring loaded, so that is its own little mechanism, but there's no actual trap.
Cool. Good stuff.
Jesus.
Do I
In
find
the
anything?
drawer,
Oh,
there's a little flask of whiskey. Because of course they're fucking
Oh, yeah.
idiots.
fuck yeah!
treasure.
It looks to be from the Karlosovsky baronies.
Oh, the baronies.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is
That's probably a clue.
as you pull it out. Yeah, or booze.
It's a gift from me.
or both.
No, I'm saying it's a clue. Or booze.
Got it. Clue booze. There is
Clues.
also a key in there. It is a fairly ornate, fancy-looking key.
Okay.
And on the tip of it, like on the end, the head of the key, there's actually a little engraving that says
Key.
Yeah, it just says key. Just in case you didn't know that it was a key.
Opens doors.
It's just an arrow pointing down to the end of the key.
Insert this end.
Insert this. Yeah.
This goes here. It
Does
says
that say suppository?
It says TH. Oh my god, THHS.
Okay.
Okay. Twin Hills Hotel and Spa.
How do you get into his room then?
Might not be in his room.
I eat it for safekeeping.
It goes down like Jello, but hard and a key.
That wasn't a key. I will. I just started handing stuff down the line, except for the flask, which I do keep.
I knew that you were going to keep the flask.
Well, why would I hand that down the line?
Damn it.
The key is handed
outta
to
here.
Trystan, I assume, next in line.
Unless the blacksmith wants to take a look at it for some reason.
I've never made the key. So there is no letter in any of those compartments.
There is no letter in any of those compartments.
Okay, my guess is that important things are at the hotel.
Could I take a second? And I know that you said that the book, like I'm forgetting the log. There we go.
Manifest, yes.
The manifest. I couldn't remember the word manifest to save my life there.
It's also a log. You are
correct. Could I take that and cross-reference it like very quickly, like not going for like extreme
Make an investigation
detail?
check.
All right. Where's my dice? I just went blind. Investigation. That's a 10.
A 10. Everything seems the same. You would wager that a copy is kept by the individual who has this role.
Gotcha. Right. I mean, I think this is just his copy of it. I don't think he's doctored it in any way to seem different. So, I got the cipher copy down. Do we want to leave the little piece of paper just so it doesn't look like, in case like we leave and he comes in, it doesn't look like anybody's fucked with anything?
Sure.
You know what I
Crumple
mean?
it back up and I leave it perfectly where I found it.
I'm taking the key though.
I also unpunch his draw and put that back.
Cat.
You know what? Make a sleight of hand check as you attempt to rehinge this door.
Sleight of hand, 15.
15? It's easy enough to like push it back down and get it to catch. It
Heck
seems to be reconcealed.
Cool.
All right. Siegfried, as you're standing watch, you see that figure return from his venture into the darkness and walk back towards the campfire. But other than that,
We want to go to the Twin Hills Hotel and Spa.
Sure.
I'm fine with it. Sig,
Oh.
you good?
Yeah, let's go.
okay. It's easy enough. We'll maintain your stealth rolls to slip out of the tent and away from the camp. Twin Hills Hotel and Spa, Sig, you would know, is located right here.
We're on the wrong map.
The wrong map.
We're on the
Oh my god, I'm
cipher.
the worst! Aha! Leaving you guys behind like a jerk would be
You're right.
located right here.
And we are currently right over here.
In the tent.
You are down here. That's right.
Okay, no, I'm a dipshit. Okay, I
Very
will
smart.
You're not a dipshit.
go ahead and
It was instant.
lead the way.
Okay. Sig kind of leads the way, moving down along this outside wall of the town, past the kind of little copses of woods that nestle against the hills where this town sits. You make your way up through the gates, which are guarded, but again, you are not stopped. This isn't a time of conflict, and there isn't concern of banditry in a town this well established and garrisoned. You make your way in, and it's gotten even later. And you are noting that there are even less folks out. The inns, there's just a dull glow coming from a few buildings, but other than that, it's very quiet.
Am I familiar with any of the guards that are sort of just kind of manning the wall here?
Yeah, do you feel like you hang out with any of the guards or know any of them well?
I imagine that he's like gone drinking with them or you know, had conversation. They, you know, just being kind about town. I highly doubt he has them over for Sunday brunch, but you know, conversation and checking
you've
in
seen
as he
them in
does pass
passing.
through. Yeah.
Yeah. There are a few figures who you've seen around town, had kind of engaged with before.
Just kind of approach.
Ah, Siegfried, you have returned. I heard you were out in the front again. Brave man, huh?
Busy man.
These are your companions.
Yeah, this is Honey, Trystan, Gendri.
I pulled the night shift again. Nice to meet you all. Honey, Trystan, Gendri.
I have a question.
What is that?
Has it been busy at the Twin Hills? We're looking for a room.
I mean, you know, there's always wealthy nobles that can afford to be there, so there's always a room open, but the madame charges enough that it doesn't really impact her.
And he kind of leans in. Any specific assholes we might want to avoid? I know it can get kind of uppity there. Anyone
At
you
the
might
inn?
have seen. Yeah.
Oh, no, you know the madame keeps that place spick and span, fancy. I mean, like, wealthy assholes.
Hmm.
And this is, like, really upscale.
Yeah. Okay. Good luck with your evening then. Thank you.
Yeah, stay safe, my friend.
You as well. Continue on.
Okay. You make your way down this side street. As you approach, there is a large tower that sits in sort of this gated, hedged compound near the end here. A few trees surround it. It sits near the end of the street here where the street kind of ends. To either side, there are homes. And before you reach the tower, not seemingly adjoined or connected, you approach this other compound, which is this large kind of L-shaped home with a fenced-in front yard area that has these beautiful walkways. There's a small fountain bubbling away even in the late hours of the night here, and soft light spilling from a open sort of front door that has been cast open, the weather not being cold enough yet to require them to keep it shut. How do you guys approach?
Nobly.
Yeah, nobly.
Hat
An
on.
idea of how much a room cost here?
Do I have any frame of reference?
A night, it's like 20 gold pieces.
Fuck off.
20 fucking gold. But you
Okay.
know me, I'll pay it if you want the room.
That's fucking ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but it might be the best way to get in. We'll see if they just
He's already
want us
counting
drunk at
his
the bar
gold
or
up.
something.
Why are you
Siegfried,
counting
Getting to
your gold?
20. What?
stop.
Why are you doing that?
It seems to be the only way I'm useful.
Tristan,
That is
Like-
not what.
Okay.
yeah, what are you talking about? You are useful like all the time.
Stop
Regardless,
nigging yourself.
are we just going in there?
Tristan spins
for
the key
Griggs?
around and goes, plus we already technically have a room.
I don't know what I go
Possibly.
to.
We're not going to get far without purchasing a room. They're going to see us walk in. Unless we sneak in.
Let them see it, and I'll walk in the front door.
Cool.
Yeah, I look.
Okay,
I feel
Gendry.
like I look nice enough.
You walk in the
I
front
try and
door.
look extra homeless.
Okay,
Nice.
not hard to do. As you
Nice.
walk in, you kind of cross the threshold. There is a front desk behind which a small Ganassi-looking individual is sitting. They have these sort of wisps of almost like cloud that run up in a mutton chop that run along the back, and there's no hair on the top of their head. It is completely bald, with this sort of cloudy beard along the side. They have these long, sort of, again, cloudy eyebrows. They are wearing finery with the sigil, the THHS, on the breast. They kind of look to you. Hello, monsieur. Are you lost? Can I help you?
No, you have to find a room.
I see, and you are... you have the gold to pay for this room?
A strange question. You ask all your guests that.
You see this figure kind of taken aback as he's realizing if for some reason you are some sort of like bedraggled but very wealthy
I
person.
fucking
he's
fully
in a
dropped the bag I
punishment.
just got on the floor in front of me.
Oh, with the 40 gold?
45, yeah.
Or 45. I am so sorry, monsieur. My sincerest
He goes to
apologies.
pick it up. I took it back.
Okay, he gets up and begins to go around. And says, I am so sorry. I did not realize, given your appearance. I mean, how clearly I am.
Is all of your staff incompetent?
I'm sorry. You say
That's
that.
a good question, my friend. Is all
no,
your staff fucking useless?
I'm sorry. I am certain. I am just the knight.
You
Benjamin.
tire me. Bring me someone else.
I am so sorry. I will get them, madame, right away. I am begins to cower and back away, and he's profusely bowing, and you see him disappear.
As soon as he disappears, we look at the keys in the back by where he was.
I don't. I'm having way too much fun with this.
You're all in. Yeah, you're
I lean over the counter to offer Honey some sort of stealth advantage.
Okay,
because I'm big.
Honey, perception check first because you're looking at the keys, right? And there is nobody currently looking at you guys. But if you want to make stealth, you have advantage from your good friend Sig, who is blocking the way, as Gendry is kind of standing there regally. Trystan, what are you up to?
I think Trystan is in the back of the group, just stammering, and he's spinning the key in his hand, and he's just like, just tell me what room it is. I'm gonna act like I don't know you. Right? Is that the plan or something?
Perception for room
fancy.
keys is a 16.
Okay, a 16. And are you looking for anything specific?
I'm looking for. So I want to just glancing. I want to see what the room keys look like, if they look the same as the one that Trystan's holding right now. But I'm also looking for a ledger of who might be here,
or one that's missing.
So
yeah,
absolutely. As you were looking, there's these little box nooks, and each one is marked with a room number, and it's basically 3 stories of rooms and about 20 rooms per floor. There are 2 keys in each nook that are identical to each other, so it seems like each room comes with 2 keys. There are about 5 rooms that currently there are no keys in the nook, which means there's about 5 rooms that are checked out. Those rooms would be 115, 205, 207, 306, and 101. Okay.
And are there any keys where there's only one?
there's only 20 per floor, but the floors are indicated.
No, I know.
Okay. Oh, I'm
they
sorry.
Look like hotels in real life.
Yeah. Button. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Are there any of those rings where there's only 1 key? And
no,
where the remaining might match? No.
Okay. No.
Because he would have the other one, presumably.
That's what I'm asking.
So we've got
5.
Good clarification.
And then, do they all look like the key Trystan's holding?
They look very similar. With a 16, each key, the way to differentiate, they aren't actually writing the room numbers on the keys, but the key itself, the mechanics of it, is a little different. Okay. The expectation being that the person knows the room they've gotten, and they aren't annotating them on the keys in case something like this were to happen.
Cool. And the looking to see, I assume they have names of people in the rooms listed.
They aren't on the key hooks, but there is a ledger to your right. Yeah. It is turned away from you and open right now.
I look at it.
Okay.
It's gonna be in fucking Term Undead, isn't it?
Are you worried about people coming?
Yeah.
Okay. It is absolutely in Sherman Dead. As
I cannot read this.
But you are looking for names.
That's true.
And numbers are also easy enough to do. So as you glance, the main information on it is all unintelligible. But make an investigation check for me, and roll stealth with advantage, because you can begin to hear people coming back.
Okay. The investigation is a 15. Oh no, please. Okay. Stealth still isn't great, but it's not a nat 1 anymore. It's a 10.
Okay, a 10. You are able to, with a 10, at a quick glance.
No, the 10 is for the stealth.
For the stealth. Okay.
What did
Sorry.
I forgot what I rolled because I picked up my dice.
Hey, chat.
But it was higher for investigation.
Okay.
It was a 16.
Was it a 16?
I
don't
think.
remember.
I think so.
16 or 14.
Okay. With a 16, that's what you are not doing stealthy. You're kind of having to tippy-toe and lean forward. And even with Sig kind of leaning in the way, the door comes out, and you're kind of pulling yourself up over, and Sig isn't directly between you and the door. But with a 16, you're able to fairly quickly grab yourself, not Gendry's name, Griggs's name outlined, and it is sitting next to room 207.
Cool.
And you drop away just in time as the big door swings open. If you stay any longer to get any more information, they will. Okay. And this very tall, slender, femme-presenting figure sweeps through. She is still wearing this quite fanciful red gown with this intense black fur that rings the cuff quite high, and a sort of plunging neckline. She has this very angular jaw and these intense eyes to her. As she glances up at you, there are distinctly, very heavily elven figures on this woman. She says, my sincerest apology. I hear that one of my employees has taken it upon himself to insult you, fine individuals. I am so sorry.
I had just forgotten about that.
It is with the greatest sincerity that I please give you my apologies. Honestly, I would be willing to give you a one-night stay if you would be so kind as to not disparage the good name of my establishment. And rest assured that this imbecile will, of course, be chastised and reprimanded for his behavior.
You have bathrooms to clean? I imagine you have bathrooms to clean.
Of course, yes. We will assure that he has the most intense of maid duties.
Thank you, madam.
To attend to.
Oh, I'll ensure that he will.
He's gonna shit on your walls, fucko!
Shit about it!
Oh,
My man said, I'm about to shit about it.
I'm a squatter.
Oh my god.
Sorry. I'll say, comped rooms would be delightful. Do you have anything on the second floor?
Of course. We have a beautiful view of the northern Ironfields, if you would like. Room 208, I believe, is open. Or you could go for one facing the tower. It is quite the view itself, though quite close. That would be 307.
208 sounds perfect.
Like. 208?
Yes,
And
please.
just the one room? It is, I'm afraid, just one queen-size bed. Would you like... I do not presume to know your situation, of course, and we would kindly facilitate anybody of such fiscal capabilities.
The queen bed is
with whatever
fine.
they need. A queen for the 4 individuals, of course.
Of course.
Wonderful. Would you like me to show you up? Of course, Pierre here can bring up your baggage if you would like.
Good the Genasi?
Yeah.
I say, no, we'll take our own bags.
Just,
She shoots him fucking daggers of outrage.
and it's just up these stairs here?
Yes, follow the grand staircase up and you will follow to the right for 208. Please, our other guests are sleeping, so obviously quiet. And if you need anything, breakfast is served at 9 a.m. And the spa is available starting at 10 a.m. So please.
Oh, shit. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Thank you so much.
My sincerest apologies to you all, and do not hesitate to ask for me if you require anything.
Certainly. Come along.
Yeet.
We just fucking head up the stairs.
Yeah.
Sig acts like the
You
bag
just
boy
hear-
and picks up everybody's stuff.
As you're heading up the stairs, even before you make it, you absolutely freaking idiotic imbecile! What is going on in your head? You do not ask people about money, fund, or appearance when they walk through the fucking door. And you hear a smack
He's
across the
good.
back.
Oh no!
I am sorry, madame. I am sorry. We are.
I don't like that I got hit.
Yeah, I know it's a little aggressive.
I feel
Oh
bad.
no, this poor guy.
Everyone went as soon as he got it.
No!
I'm rich,
like
I
a,
don't care. I'm rich, I don't care.
It
I'm a
doesn't
character.
a full-handed slap, but it is like a whop over the back of the head.
The plights of the lower class do not bother me.
I'm not gonna hit a different tax bracket.
So you make your
Yes,
way
sir.
towards which room? 208 and 207 are right next to each other.
Did we just fucking go straight to 208? Or 207?
We can go to 207, pretend that we got confused by the number they said if we get caught.
Yeah,
So we go there first.
fair enough. All right, 207.
Oh my god, you guys are so good. You walk up this beautiful, immaculate, princess-style sweeping staircase up onto this balcony, and it sweeps kind of around and then hooks off into these wings of this structure. You follow yours around and go down this immaculately carpeted and wallpapered hallway with little lamps that are flickering with oil in them rather than candles up on the walls that is just relatively ostentatious from what you guys are used to. As you make your way down the hallway, you see these beautiful cherry wood doors with 207 and 208 actually even share a wall, and the doors are kind of right next to each other.
Grab him through the wall. What a Kool-Aid man.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much.
Do we hear anything from his rooms?
Make a perception check.
Did you take on Isidore Abner's accent there? Make a perception check.
Welcome to my
19.
house.
Perception?
21.
Yeah, 19. And what else you got? 18.
21.
21.
2.
Adam.
3
So
of
close to
you.
that giveaway.
He's confused.
3 of you are able to listen at the door. The 3 of them kind of stacked up Gendry and then Honey and then Sieg keeps
like
you
a
from being
Scooby-Doo
able
thing?
to get to the door, Trystan, so you're not able to
Oh, you
listen.
stepped on my foot.
Sorry.
Your foot's
okay.
bigger than me.
That's not my fucking fault.
What am I supposed? Am I supposed to do
mine.
anything?
Just stand there and look
Yeah,
pretty,
that's-
Tristan. You're doing great.
I
Look
just
the other way.
okay. And Trystan like turns around and it's still like you clearly see the key spinning between his fingers, and he's like just very nervously like, "Yeah, I'm just looking this way.
You're fine.
Uh huh.
You're great.
That's what I'm doing."
We're like 3 kids trying to
the
steal from the
fuck
CVS.
up. Stop talking on watch, Tristan. Jesus.
Never fucking done this.
Shut up. You did it for fucking 4 days on the train. Shut the
That's
fuck
Wow,
up.
different.
Cut to this guy inside his room like, what the fuck is going on in the hallway?
Who are these people? As you listen at the door, you do not hear anything.
Okay.
He's probably dead.
We're jerking off.
How
Give him a
quiet
few
are you?
minutes.
Quietly, I like to be polite for the people around me.
Like a fucking graveyard.
Okay, so we have the key. Are we just going in there?
I think so, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we
Tristan,
can always say we were
What?
getting the wrong.
the key. Calm the key, please.
Oh, I got it. I'll go in
Then unlock
first.
the fucking door.
Well, then move because you guys are still
Shit,
Scoobied.
you're right. Sorry.
Scooby is a guy Trystan knew in college.
Yeah.
Second
Exactly.
campaign in a row where we're acting like Scooby-Doo.
He was, in,
Yeah, hate to see it.
he was in the room next to me and he used to just hang around and be like, "Hey, Tristan," every time.
In the corner.
Like, man,
Yeah.
did you see those snacks?
Like, man, the
Great.
professor's riding my ass, dude.
Fucking jankies, dude.
Yeah, I unlocked.
Mac is just like, "Ruh-roh, Gendry."
He's no, Scooby's a professor. He's just like a woken dog.
God bless it.
I unlocked the door.
Okay.
If it unlocks.
The key fits and does unlock.
Quiet.
Make a stealth check for me.
Fuck.
Me?
Everybody who's going through that
Oh.
door.
Oh, I have disadvantage.
Hey,
Open
Here,
that
I-
giveaway. I got the natural one.
hey, Josh, open that giveaway
Oh.
twice because I got a natural 20 this time.
Oh my god.
Yeah, baby.
Are we all going through?
Tristan
Keep it open
quietly
for 10
opens the
minutes,
door,
guys.
he kicks it in.
Some part of his actions today. Yeah, that makes sense.
I assume
16.
Tristan is taking the lead here. Who's all going in? Everybody?
I think I think everybody's going.
Yeah, we're all going in at this point.
I don't want to
Yeah,
speak for
baby.
Button if
And
Honey's not going in.
Honey's though planning on going in after and is keeping an eye on the hall.
Perfect. Okay, as you begin to go in, everyone's being really quiet. Tristan, you are stealthy as you take the lead.
We got a natural 20 and a natural 1, and I
Sig,
got a 16.
I got you. You know I got you. Sig, as you go, your shield that you're still kind of getting used to having on you,
I'm
goes
so
to catch.
quiet.
and
You said that
the
out loud.
metal corner of it catches right on the metal door lock, and you hear a ding, and Tristan, you turn and grab it and catch the noise before it escalates any louder. It's just a brief ding, and it silences as you pinch it.
I'm sorry.
I hear that kind of shit all the time. We're fine.
Like Tristan is like trying to like symbol like you're so loud, and he just turns around and starts sneaking back into the room.
Okay. As you enter the room, it is pitch black, no lights are on. There is a small water closet That's how fucking fancy these rooms are. Off to your left. That has
They got water and closets? God damn.
No, they're small bathrooms that I can't even sit down in.
And then a small closet for hanging clothing. All of it is carpeted, which again, you're used to like inns and taverns, which is a wooden floor and a bed in the corner.
Hell yeah.
As you step into the room proper, there's a 4-poster bed and a dresser. The dresser, all the drawers are pulled open, and there are things scattered all over the place, but there is no person seemingly in this room. How do you
That
proceed?
rat fuck. You got the word. You got the word.
Shit.
Detect
Yeah.
magic thing.
Detect magic. Okay.
I'm gonna go to the
Honey,
bathroom.
as you follow them, you kick it off. The detect magic. With the detect magic, as you kind of begin to push past your peers, there are 2 signals coming from the corner of the room that are barely glowing, just flickering in and out.
At the corner of the room, does it seem
On
like
the
nothing
far
is there?
side of the bed, it does. You're not sure if there's somebody there or not.
They point to where the magic is coming from.
Sig will walk forward, shield, and I think at this point, sword drawn.
Is there a window in this room?
There is a window in this
Is it
room.
open?
As you look up the window, you see just the slightest shift of air and the curtains move, which alludes to the fact that the window on the other side is likely open.
Does it look like someone could get up that high?
It would require a little bit of effort, but you're on the 2nd story, and it's not an immense building.
Cool.
Sig,
I
as you
noted.
move forward, yeah, you clock that. Sig, as you move forward and look to your left, you see no person. There are a few items of clothing, kind of dirtied workers' clothing, laying on the floor. And there are 2 halves of a almost silver stone that has been cracked in half.
Pick it up.
We can talk to each other.
Looks like they're onto us. Shit.
Looks like the Eladrin got back to him.
Make an investigation check for me as you guys kind of pause and look around. This
Everybody?
Everybody?
I'll give
Anyone
some an
who is.
advantage.
Okay.
Help. I'll give help.
Who's taking help?
Who's taking help?
I will. I'm dumb.
Yeah, we'll help each other because we're both bad.
Okay. Oh, 18.
Oh,
Nice.
the dynamic duo that is forming Sig and Gendry. What else have
11.
you got? 11?
7.
Sig and
You guys are
Gendry,
shit. We got
funnily
this.
enough. Sig, as you kind of hand the stone over and show it to the party,
Mm-hmm.
you and Gendry kind of begin to like step back as the others 2 set to turning over the room looking for things. And as Honey takes the sheets and pushes it off the bed, caught in the sheets, there is a small letter. And as Honey pushes it off, the letter catches the wind and flits out and slips and falls at both of your feet sitting on the floor. It is an opened letter and there's a piece of parchment hanging
I
from
just
it.
look at it and say, take credit. Take credit.
Honey, you're a fucking genius. You knocked this out of the bed.
What?
He, when you moved the sheet, this fell out. Thank you so much for your help. You're the best. He reads it.
Well, here's the thing. As you turn over the envelope, it is unmarked. As you pull the sheet of paper out, there
Mark-
is something
mark like
written all
crazy.
over it,
Ciphered.
but it
Oh,
is
but it's crazy gibberish.
unintelligible. It
It's
is
Thalanaki.
this.
Oh,
I can-
shit.
I can read Thalanaki, thank you.
Guys, I know 2 languages. This ain't one of them.
Oh,
looks like
this,
the
this
napkin I
is
found.
undeciphered. This is very, yeah.
Oh.
Hey, do we want to go into our room and decipher this?
Yeah.
I'm going to stay in here look for stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Just give it another few
Oh,
once
fuck.
overs.
I need that cipher. My brain's too slow to hop
I
back
got
and
it.
forth.
I will give the handouts to everybody now. Does that sound okay with everyone?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
So that you can just pull them up.
Gendry, you sure you're good in here?
Sure.
If you need anything,
Worst case scenario, they come back.
Yes, exactly. What? Okay.
That's good.
Oh, that's fair. Well, good enough. Okay. So.
All right, you all have access now to the ciphers. You can pull out the handouts.
Cool.
And feel free to draw on this map if you want to as well.
Is that scribble
Where is
on
it?
there intentional, or is
So
that a
if you go
Josh
to where
flavor?
you pull your character
It's almost
sheet
like the
up
person
button,
writing it fucked up.
you'll see
the,
underneath handouts.
the cipher
Yeah,
had to
yeah.
rewrite it.
Wow.
It's underneath your character sheet.
I may or may not have already started.
So you can
the
click on
cipher.
those and pull them up.
So can somebody write while I do this?
It's the first
G
word is the next
R.
I believe it's LL.
The next will.
Yeah, the next will.
So here, let's role play this. Trystan, Sig, and Honey go into the room next door. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Now you can begin.
I think-
I just
yeah,
want
I
to make
think-
sure I know where folks are as you begin to work through this.
I think 100% before we walk to the next room, Trystan is already writing parts of the cipher that he's figured out, and that's why he
Into the-
has
into the
like
book?
the next words, and he's like, "Don't." I grabbed this is the next will. I think it's B. Yeah.
B, D, what is that? R, O. God help.
Sig, you just watch as these
E,
two start rattling
He's-
letters off,
E.
both like holding.
Are
a
you
piece
writing
of the
this
paper.
down? D.
I'm a little behind. I got a D.
He thinks about all the time he spent being bad at school.
I think this one might
First
be
one
a
is-
babble.
D,
Oh.
E. So bed. And what is that? R, O, Pitro,
P. E. D.
E, D.
Oh no, my
What's that
brain's
mean?
doing- dropped.
Oh, there's a space there. My word was like, what the fuck do bedropped mean?
And this will be dropped.
Josh,
off.
2 thumbs up for this
Dropped off.
intrigue, my guy.
The New Hampshire
A.
drops.
Thanks,
At.
guys.
Drop that. What is that?
Eh.
M O U L I N. I said the letters and forgot what it spelled. Are you writing down?
Mulan.
What was it?
Milan.
Milan? Is that a place we know, Josh?
It's a place in Italy.
God damn.
I know. So I'm asking if it's a place in this world.
Rouge.
There are a number of places that use Moulin in the title, Sig, as you hear
Moulin.
them saying Moulin.
Okay.
Money.
I'm not.
Um,
This is my
in the
foreign
town.
tongue. So
All right. E
Oh, okay. so-
T A N G.
As they spell that out,
Dang.
there's a pond on
Hmm.
the eastern side of town.
Okay, he's relaying this as they're saying it.
Okay.
Okay.
The next
B.
one is B. Then W
Gendri,
A
where are you looking at things?
R
In that
Y.
one that got
Any
tossed.
specific location?
Be wary.
Just around.
Just another. I'm just like taking
of-
time, not trying to get like a quick glance. Just
R
literally
Make an
going through
investigation
everything.
check for me.
looking through the window,
You-
see if that's the way he went out.
B B
16.
L
16. We'll get back
E.
to that in a second.
Rubble.
Rubble.
Oh God! I wish Gendri were here. Okay.
Mm.
This is gonna say town. P O. Yep. Fuck. W and fuck me. Okay.
What?
Next
I
word.
just hear a bunch of swearing from next door.
There's a
I
muffled fuck
N
through the wall.
T
T.
E
It's like a spelling test.
R
R-E-S-P-C-T.
F E R E N
Can you use it in a sentence?
The word of Rebel Town.
Oh, I know that.
Here we go.
Through the wall. That was like 4 times. We're like, oh. Interference.
Interference.
Beware
Okay.
of Rebel Town interference.
Next one.
Mm-hmm.
M A K E. Make. Next word. S U
Sure.
R. Yeah, make sure. T Make sure I imagine that's scratched out. Okay. C
Josh didn't make a mistake. It was definitely the author.
CHEST.
Chest.
Next word. REM.
Remains.
Remains. Last word. W.
Such a long
A.
word,
T. E. R. T. I. G. H. T.
Watertight.
Uh-oh.
They got gremlins.
She.
Wait.
Fucking mogwai.
So, and they're saying this out loud, correct?
Yes. R.
Oh, it's in the lake.
I was going to say, did they put it in the lake then?
We need magnesis.
Yes. Grixis. I don't think I think somebody gave this to Grixis. If you look at the top, it says Grixis.
Griggs?
And then it
Griggs.
says Griggs. I
Yeah.
can't fucking read. We've established this in the real world.
again.
Part of the Atom canon.
Damn it.
It says
So I
Griggs.
was calling out letters. Yeah, what does it actually say altogether?
Oh, Griggs. The next will be dropped off at Milan Etang. Is that how you say it? I don't know how to pronounce it, Josh. Okay. Sorry, accents are different. Be wary of Rubble Town interference. Make sure the chest remains watertight.
So someone at the munitions plant is dumping guns into a pond for them to grab.
Right in town. That's why they're leaving the shipment. Griggs is probably there now.
Be good with like water. I can swim and stuff, but I'm not like amazing at it.
Okay.
Jumping to Gendri as you guys have this conversation. It's 16, Gendri.
Yeah.
Okay. As you begin to go through things, you check the window first. Somebody has absolutely exited this window.
In like
the
a
inside?
I need to flee town kind of way?
Looking at the evidence for the rest of the room, it is a flight, yes. They have shattered this stone, cast and left a lot of clothing items behind, and then gone out this window.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like they've fled that way.
Okay.
As you are also going through, you check the drawers and the pockets and come away with 15 gold pieces total.
Fuck.
Left, like little pieces of bits of change and various accoutrements. And that is what you are able to acquire.
Sweet. Okay. I will bring that information and 15 gold pieces back to the group. Just sort of throw whatever I gathered onto like the side table and be like, well, found that behind. Also, I be hard pressed to find this individual still in town.
Unless he's at this pond.
Yeah, and Trystan lifts up the notebook. Cipher the note. It said, Grix, the next will be dropped off in Mulan E10. Be wary of Rubble Town interference. Make sure the chest remains watertight.
Interesting.
Maybe gun drop off.
Are we sure that's not the delivery we just intercepted?
Might be.
Could be, but
I think I might be Rubble Town interference.
what do you mean?
Well, I've still yet to be paid for my involvement.
No,
And
you
that's
got
why
paid
I'm-
back at the.
Right,
At
but
the-
originally I was not sent with you. I was sent by someone else from Rubble Town.
Who sent you?
Ooh!
I did get his name, right?
Yeah, Bastille.
Bastille, that's what it was. The band.
The French prison.
Not sure.
The band or the
Bastille Gattaca.
I would love to hear the story, but do we want to go by the pond really fast to see if maybe he there? Or maybe the munition plant if he's trying to warn them?
Yes.
I don't know.
Not a bad call.
We go.
Which direction, though?
To the pond.
How far is the pond from the Jean-Marc munitions?
It is in the opposite side of town.
What do we...
And I can bring you guys back to that map.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, please.
Ka-chow! Ka-chow!
Does this...
So, this is the pond.
Okay, we're
I guess
closest
there's no way to know that.
to the pond. Well, we have to go outside of town to go to the pond, but the munitions is across town. What makes most sense? Lake first? Pond first?
Can we make an intelligence check to see if Gendry was correct? Like, if it makes sense that he was the
This was the
interferer
previous...
and that there wouldn't be something there right now?
Probably no way to know for sure, but...
I mean,
that's pretty tricky to ascertain, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I think we should check the pond, because I'm just thinking in the mindset of somebody like this. If you were to get something like private information, even if it's ciphered out, somebody can figure out a cipher if they have enough time. If you're gonna have that, you'd probably destroy a letter that's ciphered, even, you know what I mean? Like, why would you keep it with you until after the job is technically done?
We
literally found it in a letter. So,
did anyone keep those stone fragments?
I have them.
Okay. Just want to make sure someone has them.
put them back together. It'll work.
If they contacted them after their encounter with us on the train, we have to assume that the pond is empty. Right? I mean, does that make sense to everyone?
I agree.
Then guess, but what if he got contacted, didn't have enough time, already had a drop off in the pond? Now he gets a letter that says you got to get this out of the pond. He realized he's burned, so he's trying to run to grab the shipment to hide the evidence. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but that doesn't answer the question of where we need to go right now, because we don't know where he is. Okay, then let's go to the pond, and then we'll go to Jean-Marc. Does that make sense to everyone?
I'll go to the manufacturers just to keep an eye on things, make sure I don't see anyone try to flee. You okay with that?
Should we split more than one person?
2 and 2.
Okay. Who wants to go?
I'll take Trystan.
Okay.
It's like I don't know what I'm more effective at.
Can you do anything like flashy in the sky, like something in case of emergency? No, I meant the other two.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the plan. If we see something flashy in the sky, then it's going down and we got to get there quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
Same.
You and me, we're just observing. We're not going in. We're not questioning anyone.
But what if he's there? What do we do?
Probably tackle him to the ground and then have him answer a few
Okay,
questions. But that's completely circumstantial.
That's literally the exact opposite of what you...
circumstantial. I don't foresee that being an issue.
That's exactly the opposite of what you just said.
Well, that's a different set of circumstances.
Sig will look at Honey. We ready?
We're going.
Hop on.
Yeah.
Squats and fucking just starts bolting.
I'm not doing that.
You guys...
I'm
offended.
As you guys begin to leave your comped room,
the
Twin Hills Hotel and Spa, with two different objectives in mind, Trystan and Gendry heading towards Jean-Marc Munitions Factory, and Honey and Sieg heading towards the Moulin Etang. That, my friends, is where we will end today's session.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Hey! Now we getting into the real intrigue, my friend.
Splitting the party!
Get us in there.
Splitting the party.
Thank you, audience, for watching us. We've got a few announcements, but I think before we do those announcements, do you know what we should do? Probably draw a really cool giveaway.
Oh my fucking Christ!
Yeah, our good friends over at Wooded Meadows Gaming have been sponsoring this giveaway all day, and man, the crits have been on fire. Can we give a huge thank you to the cast for rolling all those crit successes and failures to make sure that that was open so many times? Much love.
I'm sorry.
That. You're perfect. Guys, check out Wooded Meadows. They have been fantastic. I keep wanting to say Twin Meadows for some reason and put the... Yeah, but I'm an idiot. Oh, wow. But check them out. Send them some love. They're a small local company in Denver who is growing very quickly. They got very cool products. We would love to send folks their direction, okay? And that's the least we can do for this phenomenal giveaway that they are doing, one every week this month, okay? This month's winner is... Let me get to my button to make it happen.
They're right there.
Say what?
I'm dumb. Keep going.
Did it already run? Oh.
Drum roll.
Brum, brum, brum.